Hi to
Hey, everybody.
myself. No, I'm just kidding.
Let's wait and see how many people we get watching.
Yeah,
We're up and at 'em.
supposedly.
We are. We're
Yeah.
on. We just gotta wait on everybody else to get on. Because there's a buffer for commercials.
Oh, is there really?
Yeah.
Hello, hello. Hi.
Hey, everybody.
Waiting for other people to come on before we start. Might be a second or two. Just hang in there. Hello, Joe.
Hey.
If you see us looking away from the camera, that's because we're trying to read your chat bar in the background.
Yeah. I'm trying to get it on my phone so I don't always look funky. But
Hello, hello. Welcome. Welcome.
there we go. I think I got it.
Nice.
Awesome.
Just turn that volume down.
Now, can everybody hear us? Everybody that's here?
Hmm.
Are we too loud? Too quiet? This is the first time doing it from our computer, so we did a live on the phone last month I guess it was.
We
But
did.
we're trying from the comfort of our home today.
I guess you could say that was our practice.
Awesome, Joe. Thank you for letting us know that.
Yeah, thanks.
We had this camera set up for some other things before for work and stuff like that. So I was assuming the camera was going to work well. So I'm glad it is with the volume and everything. So
Mm.
appreciate it, Lena. We if you are watching and you're not a subscriber,
Awesome.
the giveaway today is going to be for subscribers.
Mhm.
So the chat down in the corner there, or underneath you if you're on the phone, is set up for subscribers only because we only want subscribers to participate.
Mhm.
So if you are watching and not a subscriber and want to be part of the giveaway, then absolutely just subscribe, and then you should immediately be able to comment, because as we get to the end of our live, we're going to do like trivia type questions and answers to see if anyone can guess the right answers, and then you'll win a prize. That's how we're gonna do it this time.
Right.
But we're gonna go ahead and as people are slowly getting on, we're gonna just kind of walk through some of the things. On our community page, we have all the rules for the giveaway, and the main rule is you just have to be a subscriber. And then the other thing is, if you do win, you do need to email us at 50pluslife360@gmail.com. And I probably should write that up on the board back there. Um, so everybody has that email, but any of
It's
our
hard for me to get out.
yeah, most of our videos you can look up our email address. It's in the comments, so you can look it up. But if you do win, you need to email us your address so that we can get your prize on the way to you. And if you don't mind doing that, the other thing I do have to mention is YouTube is not affiliated with this giveaway in any way, shape, or form. So if you get upset or anything about the giveaway, don't take it out on YouTube. But we're trying not to upset anybody. But YouTube has absolutely nothing to do with it. They're not funding the giveaway. They're not doing anything like that. So they're non-participants, non-liable, so on and so forth.
And you must be here to win. You must be here in the chat to win.
Yeah, must be here in the live to be able to win.
Which is different from the last time. The last time we had a live, we had just random people were selected to win, and this time it's you guys. It's the ones that are actually coming on the chat. So
yeah,
that's good.
So yeah, make sure you can type into the chat, whether you can on your, I don't know if you're watching on your computer, on your phone, on your tablet, wherever you're watching from, but a lot of people watch us from the television, and that makes it a lot harder to type into the chat. So if you are watching on the television, you want to be part of the giveaway, then make sure you jump in on your phone. If you don't have the YouTube app, you can just go to your internet browser and type in youtube.com and then search for 50 Plus Life 360, and you can watch the live from there. But you'd probably have to be logged in. But anyway, while we're waiting on more people to get on, because we only have 5 people and we got 5 prizes.
Right. It works out really well, right?
That's perfect.
Yay for you guys.
We were just going to kind of go over what we've been doing lately. If you guys have been watching our channel and keeping up with us, you know that we recently bought a pop-up hard side, what do you want to call it? Camper?
We call it a mamper. I don't know if you've ever seen the whole Honey Boo Boo movement years ago, but there was a
Sugar Bear,
and he loved his mamper, his pop-up camper.
Yeah,
right?
he bought an old used camper with a tent pop-up, and he put it in the backyard because he said there was too many women in the house, and
Right.
he would go out and hang out in his camper, and he called it his mamper. It was for men only.
But if we're going to call it that, we'll also add mamper.
Yeah,
MAAA, or how is it? MAAM, you know.
Yeah. But we've done a couple trips in that. We went to the beach and camped a couple of times. We just got back. Shoot, today.
We did.
We went.
We literally just got back a couple hours ago, actually.
Yeah.
We just kind of raced to get on.
Yeah, we hurried back and we got home and had to do, cleaning up and getting the little stuff done around the house.
What, litter boxes?
And do the laundry and do all that stuff. But we spent 2 nights down at the beach, and I don't know. I mean, is anybody out there? Does anybody out there do van life or anything like that? Because I was just wondering when it's a really bad time in van life. I mean, I know you watch YouTube and you see van life, and it looks kind of glamorous and interesting and wonderful and everything, but I know there's bad days in van life, and we went through a couple of. There weren't bad days. They weren't bad days, but it just wasn't like very glamorous,
Well, we're also kind of learning what it's like. So when we move into our actual tiny house, we'll know what it's like to live so tiny.
Yeah.
That's one of the main reasons we bought this camper, other than just the fact that it would save on hotels when we go and film on location. So, yeah, it's kind of a neat experience trying to figure out how to live tiny. And it helps us with our perspective when we shoot videos to maybe point out better features for you guys.
Yeah, you get squished in a little space and you start thinking about stuff. But I was getting to the point of, like, we went to the beach and she's extremely spontaneous. And she'll just jump up in the morning and say, "Get up, we're going." And I'll be like, "Where are we going?" "I don't know. We're just going." And we end up on the road looking for someplace as we're traveling. Now, we've said this before, but it gets to the point sometimes that when we decided to go this time, hey, Dorothy.
Hi.
We kind of just decided we were going to take a trip. We just didn't know where. And then this weather for this and in the south and southeast, and now it's blowing up into the mid-Atlantic. It was just miserable weather, and we ended up traveling, and it was just gray and blah and just and then we get to our destination, the sun wasn't out, and it was cool and blustery and kind of wasn't raining, but it was overcast and just gray and no sunshine, and it was just like and you couldn't really go out and walk on the beach. It was cold, windy, and the rain was going to be coming in, and it was just, we ended up a lot of times sitting in the camper looking at each other.
Yeah, we were in Dauphin Island, Alabama. If you've ever seen it on the map, probably not. It's just this random little tiny strip off the edge of Mobile, at the bottom of Mobile,
Yeah.
way down low there.
Yeah, Dolphin Island. We ended up finally. We were just, we end up. We always do this though. It's like we watched. I saw what you said, Joe, about Glorious Life, and we watch. Sometimes we watch Adventures Over 50.
Hey, we do watch Glorious Life on
Yeah,
Wheels. Yeah,
and
pretty cool.
I know Adventures Over 50. She was just talking. Is it Tracy? Is that her name?
Yes, Tracy. Yeah.
Yeah, she was just talking last video I saw about how it's not all glamorous and things like that, but there's always something to do. Well, there is always something to do, but we always end up doing like we waste so much time. It's like we decided, well, we need something to do in the camper because we're bored out of our mind. So then we get out in the truck and we drive around looking. How many places did we go looking for a deck of cards?
It was a whole adventure. It must
Yeah,
have took all but what,
it
3 hours
took
to
3 hours.
look
We were
through.
doing some other stuff. We were doing some other shopping, but everywhere we went, nobody had cards. We couldn't find a deck of cards.
This place is very remote.
Yeah, it's a
Dolphin
remote place.
Island is a beautiful place, but it's extremely remote. And even getting to the public beach access is kind of a challenge because it's once you get in the parking lot of the public beach access, you have to walk a half a mile from the parking lot through the dunes to
Yeah.
the beach. So it's interesting.
Yeah, and it was just we just thought it was not going to be a nice place, and we found a little RV campsite, and it wasn't but $40 a night, and we weren't really planning on paying for electricity and water hookups, but just because she was hoping to find a spot on the side of the road, but everywhere we went, and we were using some of the apps like iOverland and Dirt and stuff like that, and it's like really hard to find places to
Well,
park.
you have to pretty much have a membership to every one of them to
Yeah.
find the real free one. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it was like, well, we're not paying for all these memberships for these apps just to find free parking. And then we were like, well, we might as well just. So we found two RV lots, and one was $10 more than the other one, but they were both giving you the same amenities. So we ended up staying there for 2 nights, and it was nice. It was fine. We had some nice neighbors, and we had one not so nice neighbor, but he wasn't bad. He was just kind of snotty and snooty
And dry.
and dry.
Oh,
But
by the way, did you see what Joe wrote? He said it becomes so much harder on seniors on fixed incomes, for sure.
yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, that's the sad
Even on
thing.
us young seniors, right?
Yeah, that's the sad thing that we're learning is like van life has been one route a few years ago where people could go and live cheap, and tiny homes is a route people could go and live cheap. But nowadays, it's gained such a following and such a movement that people have gotten crazy with even those prices. We go to some of these tiny home dealers, and some of the houses are relatively inexpensive, but some of them are,
Borderline 200,000.
Yeah,
That's a
and-
lot for a tiny house.
and when you do the mathematics of the square footage you get, and you take like a 300 square foot tiny house, and you're going to pay 100 and some $1,000 for it, that's ridiculous in terms of square footage.
Yeah, so
Per
we
square
really
foot
don't want
price.
to show ones that are close to 200,000.
Yeah,
Sometimes we though go through days of where are we going to film next, and we finally either get a call or find something, and it ends up being too expensive, but we're like, what do we do? Do we film this anyway, or what, or just not have any content for you guys?
yeah. I mean,
I'm not sure.
what we're finding out is it's more reasonable nowadays to find a park model RV that is right there at the 80 to $110,000 price tag for 400 square feet, and you're going to get basically all the amenities you do in a house, but you're still going to be paying right at 100,000, not including your lot, not including clearing and all those things. And then you get to the point of like, okay, what am I doing buying a tiny house?
Mhm.
am I doing that just to feel better about myself and get rid of stuff and have smaller utility bills, but I'm still going to be in 400 square feet and pay, by the time it's said and done with land and everything else, 150, 175, $200,000? Or do you just stay in your 3,000 or 2,000 or 1,000 square foot house?
But here's the problem. Okay, so we live in a house that was built in the 1980s. And if you guys know anything about older houses, and I'm sure all of you do, things go wrong. And the biggest thing about getting a new tiny house, a brand new one, is maybe it'll take a little longer for things to go wrong.
Maybe,
You know,
maybe.
that's the idea. Maybe there's a little hope that, you don't have to do anything right away. And maybe once you do need to like replace a roof or something, it's not going to be, $7,000, $10,000
Yeah.
for a roof.
But
or
that,
something,
but that's the only
So-
thing, and then you're going to save a little on utilities. But the tiny house movement has its place, but it's getting to where it's become so popular that everybody's trying to cash in on it. So you got to be careful and selective about that. But that's kind of what we've been doing. We've been just trying to find places to film, doing some camping, getting used to that,
and staying on a budget at the same time.
staying on a budget. And also, Christmas is right around the corner. So
Yeah, one thing you guys probably don't know about us is wherever we go, we're probably either at McDonald's or Taco Bell because we have the app for both of them. We try to kind of
cheap.
save money where we can.
Yeah.
And there's healthy things there, believe it or not. I will tell you one little story about me. Paul and I used to have horses, and we had a farm in Virginia. And we learned a little bit about horse auctions, but then we also about learned about cow auctions too. So I would go to an occasional cow auction, and I'd be there in what was it, Gordonsville, Virginia, and that auction was very popular with McDonald's, and so their corporate buyers would come to the cow auction there where I was at, and I would see them multiple times. And guess what they were buying? They weren't buying your normal run of the mill Angus beef. They were buying retired dairy cows for their burgers. So if you know anything about retired dairy cows, well, dairy cows have the most luxurious life for any cow. Their life is basically eating grass and pasture, just going out in the pasture and then coming back in and getting milked. And there you go. If you want a good burger, go to McDonald's and get a burger because they're actually grass-fed beef that's pasture raised and dairy cows, which is a lot more better for you than some of the Angus. So anyway, that was just my off-topic conversation for you guys today. I know it's kind of weird, but you know what? McDonald's is cheap, so.
Yeah, and Joe, you said that tiny homes are getting overrated, and that's kind of what we're saying. And for the price, like you said, you can get bigger single wide mobile homes or even double wides. You can get double wides for some of the prices of tiny homes, and you're getting more square footage. I've said it before, but the quality of mobile homes are getting, as such, they're getting close to what you're getting out of stick built. Not quite, but getting very close as the years go by. But real quick, that's what we've been up to. We're not going to carry on with that too much, but we wanted to go through just a couple quick things before we get ready for our giveaway. We get a lot of comments in our videos, and I just wanted to give everyone that's on the live a chance just to, if you don't know these things, to be able to just, get a heads up. But we get a lot of questions about these homes that we go look at, and And most people that follow us regularly know that we don't own these tiny home builders. We don't sell the tiny homes. We just go tour them. We just show them for you and for us because we're looking at options and things like that. So we have nothing to do with the manufacturers. Some of them are easier to work with than others. When we go visit them, some of them open their doors and just come on in and take all the video and pictures you want. And some of them don't even want us looking at their houses with a camera in our hands. But we try to get what we can on camera.
Incredible tiny homes, right?
Yeah, they would let us videotape it all. But just point of clarification, we don't build them, we don't sell them. We link everything like in the video description. Like everybody always says, in the description box below, you'll find when we go to a tiny home dealer or a mobile home dealer or a land seller or something, we will put their website and all their information. So if you have more questions than what we answer in the video, then you're more than welcome to contact them through the information we provide in the description. Because sometimes they don't tell us everything and we don't know everything, but a lot of it's on their website. Like where do they deliver to? Do they have a dealer for this particular brand in your location? Maybe, maybe not. Get a lot of questions. I've had people say, can you ship this to Sweden? And I'm like, well, I don't make them, number one. And number two, I don't know if this company would ship to Sweden. It can be done, but I don't know. But just to give you ideas, that's all that information. And a lot of questions come up in our videos in the comments that 80% of the questions could be answered if people watch the video all the way to the end. That's a lot of it. Is viewer retention on our videos is usually around 7 or 8 minutes on a 20-minute video, and a longer video, like if we have a video that's 30 to 45 minutes or longer, people will watch to about the 11 or 12-minute mark. So we try to, as we're editing these videos, we try to get as much information in that front part as we can. But a lot of times you've got to just plug on through the rest of the video to see what information we do include in there, because we try to include and be very, very thorough when we do these videos, and we're really thorough, and what we don't talk about in the video we put in the description.
Right.
And also we use the community tab. A lot of people ask about that. How do you get to the community tab? Well, just when you go to our main channel, 50 Plus Life 360, at the top you'll see it will say videos, shorts, lives, playlists, and if you keep going across the top there, and it's just under our description of our channel, and just before you get to our first videos, there's these words, live, so on and so forth. But over to the very far right, it'll say community. You can click on the community tab, and you can see what we post. And we try to use community tab to put pictures of what we're doing, interesting pictures and things like that, and all of that. And
thank you, Lena.
Yeah, we appreciate you watching as much as you can. That really helps us, because another thing, that's another thing that YouTube, when they push your content out to new viewers, they look at how much of your video people are engaging with, and that has to do with how many likes, how many comments, how many subscribers your video gets, how many thumbs up, all those things, and then how much people are watching your video. Like if your video is 20 minutes and people are only watching the first 3 minutes, they're not going to push that out as much to the audience as if you had a 10-minute video and people are watching 6 or 7 minutes of it. So it's all important, and that's just the way things are. But we also, just to let you know, we do offer memberships on our channel, and we have not began pushing those because we just haven't gotten to the subscriber level. I mean, you can be a subscriber and there's a member right now has no more benefits than a subscriber. But eventually we're going to push the memberships once our channel begins growing. Well, we thank you for that.
Yes,
Dorothy.
thank you, Dorothy.
But we haven't gotten to that point, but we're not going to disclude anybody from, if you're not a member, we're not going to say, well, nobody, but there may be bonus content that we allow our members to see that just, it's not relevant to the discourse of tiny homes or anything like that, but it may be some behind the scenes stuff or goofy stuff that we do, and some of the edits and stuff and craziness that goes on around our world.
Right.
But that'll be down the road. And we also have a little buy me a coffee thing. So if anybody's familiar with Buy Me a Coffee, it's a website you can go to, buymeacoffee.com. And then if you just hit the / and type in 50 Plus Life 360, that'll take you to our Buy Us a Coffee page. If you ever want to buy us a coffee, you can go over there and do that. It doesn't mean we have to buy a coffee with the money, but it certainly help us with gas money and things like
Right.
that. Should be buy me some gas, buy me a hotel room or something like that. But that's why we got a little tiny home on wheels. Our little camper was so we could afford going places and staying without having to pay for hotels.
Right. Cracker Barrels, free.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. But it works, and it's much cheaper.
Yeah, we did Cracker Barrels two nights in a row, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did a Cracker Barrel near Montgomery, Alabama, and then the next night we did one in Dothan, wasn't it?
Something like that.
Yeah, it was Dothan, because they were repaving the circle.
We don't record this, but we should. It would be very juicy footage, probably.
Yeah, we didn't do
Look
it.
at us, how organized we are. Not.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's like you don't know what you need for a camper until you actually stay in it for a little bit, and then you start compiling a list.
Yeah, that's what happened. We ended up like last night. That's how we got lost. We not lost, but we got lost our way. We were looking for. We made a couple little lists because in that camper, do you see this notepad? Our sink is probably about that size.
Yeah.
And when you cook,
maybe a little bit more square than that.
Yeah, a little square, but when you cook dinner and you try to put
a
skillet that's this big into a sink that's this big,
right, with long handles and all
it's
that.
like how do you clean this thing?
Who knows?
So we got one of those little. We had to go find one of those little dish tubs at the dollar store.
That's right, Lena. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so it was. We had to. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had 2 or 3 skillets, and we were just like, oh, we need to wash dishes, we need to do this, we need to do that. So we ended up out at the dollar store looking for all these things, and the dollar store didn't even have a pack of cards. So we went to the next place. They didn't have a pack of cards.
Right, I think we already told the story earlier.
So and we just ended up all over the place, just trying to find a pack of cards. Time we got back to the camper,
it was dark.
It was dark. It was way past dark.
Right.
We played like 2 games of cards and it was bedtime.
Right.
So
we did buy a puzzle too. I was looking forward to that puzzle, but he doesn't do puzzles. I don't know about you guys. Do you guys do puzzles at all?
Anybody
it
do
seems
puzzles?
Like maybe some people do and some people don't.
I used to love doing puzzles, but the older I get, my eyesight, it's a little more difficult to do puzzles.
The hardest part at our house is we have a few cats running around, and you know how cats are. They'll get up on your puzzle and walk around, and next thing you know it, your pieces will be on the floor. So.
Well, it's like Legos. I love doing Legos, and I don't mind with the grandkids coming up and things like that. We've got a bunch of Lego stuff. And
looks like B. Jones has the same problem as us with the cats.
Yeah.
And Dorothy says she does puzzles sometimes.
But yeah, we just it's with the Lego stuff too. I like doing those little crafts like that and stuff. But with cats, you just got to watch out. I mean, it's a mess. And also with the grandkids.
Right.
Because all our grandkids are just at that, almost 2 years old to almost 4 years old, and They like to destroy stuff. Yeah.
Lena also said that she usually does the puzzles, but she has cats too.
Yeah. Cats are a pain. You
We
almost,
need to have those. Isn't there that roll up puzzle sheet thing? You roll your puzzle up when you're done. So if you're not completely finished, you can roll it up and just
yeah.
it all rolls up inside of it, and you can roll it back out when you're ready to do it again.
Yeah.
We need those.
Yeah, that's the easiest way to torment somebody is to just take a couple pieces of the puzzle and hide it somewhere for while they're working on it.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, my eyes have just gotten to where it's like, I got contacts.
We love our cats too. We wouldn't
And I
do
can't,
anything without them.
I don't change my contacts as often as I should because I'm tightwad and I don't want to keep buying contacts. So as they get worse and worse in my eyes, it's like I just don't change them until it's really bad.
Mm-hmm.
I actually don't change them until I start getting eye irritation. And then once I get the eye irritation, I'll change contacts.
He tries to save money basically.
Yeah, because the contacts are expensive.
And he wears those disposables that they're supposed to be a few weeks, and then
They're
you
supposed,
change them
yeah,
or
they're
something.
supposed to be.
But that's another story. That's not
They're supposed to be 30
to do with our
days.
channel.
30 days. 30-day contacts, but I make them last like 3 months.
I mean, we could probably talk all day if you wanted to talk about health and aches and pains. You guys know about those things.
But we don't have a good direction right now as to where we're going with the next couple of videos. We're trying to stay along the lines of tiny houses because people like the tiny houses. And we do have a community. The guy wants us to come tour to get him on the radar a little bit. We talked about this before, and we're going to go do that in the next couple of weeks if he's not busy before Christmas.
Right, that's the problem. Christmas is kind of a bummer for a lot of businesses.
Yeah.
Scheduling.
Yeah, it's been hard for us to get content up just because of Christmas, and the weather has been just nasty. Mm-hmm. And it's just
we haven't done the first stitch of Christmas shopping
we gotta do some shopping.
Grandchildren, so we need to get them taken care of before.
And then we also got sick. Has anybody got sick this year yet? Because we got sick. We were like, ugh.
And we're not usually sick because we'll take quite a bit of vitamins and things.
Yeah, but I came down with I could feel it the day we were going to the beach the first time with the camper, because we were riding in the car, and and I was trying to sing along to the radio, and my throat was all scratchy, and I'm like, what is going on with my throat? And then by the time we got back from that trip, I was just sick, and then she got it a couple of days later. Buy some dice.
At Walgreens.
Walgreens, yeah.
Maybe instead of the cards.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah, we got some cards now, and I don't know many dice games though. Do you know many dice games?
There's that one, but you have to have like a party, not just two people, right?
Like Yahtzee?
No, remember we had those neighbors across the street that would get all those people together, and they'd have like a potluck and hang out and play dice all the time. Yeah. I'd love to do that.
Yeah.
Pickleball would be interesting too. We're thinking about getting us some rackets and trying pickleball since we have a new pickleball court in our community, right? Yeah. But that's down the road because it's a little chilly right now.
Yeah, it's too cold. We haven't been able to ride the motorcycles or anything. I winterized the motorcycles the other day and should have winterized the camper, but we're still moving along with that.
So Lena said she got sick one time this year. You asked.
Yeah.
And then,
Yahtzee is fun. I like Yahtzee. I used to love Yahtzee when I was a kid. And
it's like squirrel.
Yeah.
We're all over the place.
I'm reading comments.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, cornhole is fun. Cornhole is something that's really big down in Alabama.
Yeah, Dorothy, he took a COVID test and he was negative, so I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, it wasn't COVID. I think it was more like
or at least you hope it's not, because they said that it could be a false positive.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But it went away so quick. When we finally got COVID last year, it was very mild anyway. But I don't know that it was COVID this time because it didn't even feel like a flu because I didn't have any body aches. I had a fever for like 6 hours. It didn't get very high. It was like 99 degrees. And then, but I hit my stuff hard. As soon as I started feeling bad, we went to the store and I got some Delsum cough syrup and started taking Tylenol, hit extra vitamin C and zinc and vitamin D and all that stuff. And
Manuka honey.
Yeah,
lemon.
We tried this concoction.
Apple cider vinegar.
Yeah, it was
mixture.
I took a cup.
Potent,
I took a cup and I put 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar and then 1 tablespoon of Manuka honey, and then I put all the juice from 1 whole lemon in it, and then I put just a little bit of warm water so the honey would mix up, and I mixed all that up and then drank it. And I did that once a day for 3 days. And yeah, and I was taking zinc too. We take zinc all the time, but it was like it ended up making us. I mean, I felt better in 2 days, but now I did rest a lot. I slept a lot. I stayed in the recliner and just forever.
And he does a lot of that snoring.
But
he needs a Zipa.
But now she won't. She didn't take. She won't. She refused. I told her you need to get some because she's been coughing like a maniac, and I'm like, you need to take some cough syrup. No, she
and
won't
I
even
won't
take
get
cough
sick
syrup.
as much, and it's very surprising that I got sick because I'm usually a vitamin holic, guys. This is what I'm addicted to, vitamins.
Yeah, big time, big time, big time.
And hand sanitizer. Like I've been addicted to hand sanitizer ever since COVID.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I just really can visualize what's on the doorknob or what's on the door, when you open the door at McDonald's or something.
I've got mixed emotions about it. I think you can overhand sanitize sometimes because I think your body, your immune system has to work. It has to be in contact with some germs so it stays up to date. And I think that's why we do get sick, like once a year maybe, is so our body is like, it's got to say, hey, boom, I need some of these viruses so I can catch myself up to date. So yeah, she got a bunch of oranges. And another good thing you can do, I do this, is I'll put a lemon in the refrigerator and get it nice and cold, and then I'll just cut it up into thin slices and just eat the whole lemon, rind and everything. And it's real tart, yeah, but back when I had the flu and COVID a couple years ago, that's one of the things that really got me through.
Well, you can also put it in a blender and blend it up as well. Thing with the rind and everything, and eat it.
You got oranges and apples.
Yes,
and blueberries. You wouldn't have gotten that, but you wouldn't get any cough syrup.
I'm anti-medicine, guys. I mean, I've been through cancer twice, and I've been around everywhere. I mean, I've had, you name it. Oh no, I can't say that. That would be bad. I haven't had everything. That's hilarious.
Orange Julius. I haven't seen Orange Julius in so long.
They're good. They're really good.
Where they're at.
The last time we saw them was like in D.C. or something, or Northern Virginia, because
something like that.
Maybe Potomac Mills Mall.
Yeah.
If you've never been to Potomac Mills Mall, that's a cool mall.
Yeah, I used to work in the mall when I was in high school, and I worked at a Baskin Robbins. And right across from us was a Chick-fil-A. And then right around the corner from Chick-fil-A was an Orange Julius. And those were like, you didn't want ice cream, you go across and get you a Chick-fil-A and an Orange Julius. But yeah, that was good. Oh.
Did you see what Lena said? I pushed the door with my side or my arm.
Yeah, I kind of like.
We'll take the bottom of our shirt and grab it.
And I use my tongue.
No, you don't. That's disgusting.
I know, I'm just kidding. But no, I like sweatshirt weather now because I just roll my sleeve down and grab it with my sleeve instead of my hand. But there is a limit to the germs I'll mess with, and there's some I don't get too panicky over.
I say if the couple don't do it as a team, then it doesn't work. Like literally, you can be over here sanitizing all the time, but if your husband or something, they're all doing whatever, touching the doorknobs and putting their hands in their mouth, and what good is that doing you? So that's the problem in our relationship sometimes, because I think sometimes he forgets.
I just like I don't forget. I know, but it's just like I'm just. It's part of me is like my body just needs some germs, to keep my immune system up. Because if it's like an overprotected child. If you have a child that you just or what is it called, quarter, or
Well, we don't know that word.
whatever it is.
I know what you mean.
You just protect them and keep them in a box like a bubble boy or something, and they never exposed to anything. When they get
That's
exposed
hilarious.
to something, they go nuts. And I think your immune system to some degree has got that potential that if you don't expose it to something once in a while, then when it finally does accidentally get exposed to something, it's just gonna boom.
Thank you, Tammy
blow
Jo. That's funny.
But anyway, that's kind of it. But I'm assuming we got
Lena thinks their cats give them enough
germs.
germs. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
That's fun.
I don't know how cats do it, but they can lick their own body parts and not get sick. So I don't know.
That's very true.
They've got some kind of something. They just lick their own paws with their own tongue, just like, like you've been walking on the floor all day.
Speaking of cats, maybe we should mention that before we move on about the cat experience we had during our vacation.
So you can talk about that.
Okay, so Dolphin Island, where we go to, or where we went this time to spend a few nights, you have to drive on this, what do you call, I guess it's called a peninsula, maybe?
Causeway.
A car? Is that what it's called?
Hmm.
No, I'm talking about it's a
It doesn't
thin
matter what it's
strip,
called.
it's a thin strip of land, a thin strip of land with just the water on both sides and the road running down the center. And so there's that. And then we get to a bridge. There's a small bridge. And you go over that bridge and then you keep on going. And it's just a thin strip of land and water on both sides. And then you get to a ginormous bridge and you go over that to get to Dolphin Island. Well, before you get to that ginormous bridge, there's this area, like a little small miniature jetty type area where there's some rocks and wave action. Well, there was two cats in the middle of just nowhere. Like on one side is waves and things hitting the rocks, and that's where the cats are. They're climbing on the rocks at the waves with nobody around. And that was quite bizarre. And then on the other side of the road is more like a marsh. So there's alligators over there. And so we went all the way to town, which was like 20 miles away, and bought, some cat dishes and food and everything and real water, because the only water around there is salt water.
Yeah.
Why did you get rid of our
It's still up there. I was just getting ready to show some.
Okay, because we can't see the
chat. Yeah.
The chat at all.
Okay.
But anyway,
yeah,
it was bizarre that those cats are out there, but they ran away from us when we tried to approach them.
That's what stinks. Somebody dumped them poor cats out there. Like, why would you do that far away unless your intention was for them to die?
It's literally maybe 4 miles out in the middle of the water.
Yeah, because going from Dolphin Island to the mainland, it's 7 miles.
Terrible.
Across all these bridges and things. bridges and peninsulas and walls, whatever you want to call them. But somebody intentionally took those two cats out there and left them because there's not hardly anybody there at all.
But fishermen every once in a while come
Yeah.
by and they fish, and I'm assuming that that's the way they've been eating is just little fish that fishermen catch that they can't take home. They just throw them to them. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, so that was part of our other
So-
shopping adventure. We just went to when we were looking for
They could be awful.
we were looking for playing cards and a puzzle and stuff. We picked up some cat food and cat dishes, and we had a bunch of bottled water, so we just went out there and we put the two dishes down. We filled up one with food, and then we left the water. When we came back this morning, the food was all gone. So she goes over there, Miss Brittlebones, and with osteoporosis, and she's picking up these big chunks of concrete that are on this jetty thing, and she's moving stuff around.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Trying to
build
build
them a
a
little
shelter,
hut or
like a
something.
hut.
You know?
So she's just trying to take care of it. And then we left the food and rest of the food, gave them a refill and everything. But we try to catch these cats sometimes because it's it's the right thing to do. But
You'd almost need a trap or something if they
Yeah.
became a little wild.
yeah, the feral ones like that, because we got one that's feral. Used to be feral. He's not feral anymore. But he's
Thanks, Lena.
but he's just he's a good cat now. But we had the time to work with him because he was feral, and he lived down the street from us, and he just kept coming closer and closer to our house, and we started feeding him and getting him used to us and used to people and used to our other cats and all this stuff. But yeah, Tammy's the same way. Tammy Joe, she'll feed anything. I mean, she'll almost wreck a car to chase down.
I've
a dog.
stopped in the middle of the interstate to try to get a cat before, like literally.
Yeah.
There's been cats in the middle of the interstate, and I found out that they're sneaky cats. They come in from like the water drainage pipe underneath the roadway, so they sneak all the way to the center section of the interstate.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, speaking of raccoons eating, have you guys ever seen that guy who's got a YouTube channel? Him and his wife, they have like 40 raccoons in their yard, and they go out every night with a big tub of hot dogs, and they sit down and they feed like 40 raccoons. It's just out of my.
That's quite interesting.
It's crazy. It's just out. It just drives me out of my mind.
I don't even know what the name of the people are.
Yeah,
what their channel
crazy.
is.
And those raccoons just crawl all over the place. But yeah. All right. Well, do we have enough people to give away all these prizes?
All.
Yeah.
All 5.
You got 14 people.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. 2 cats and they
6 months and 1 year. Awesome.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
We wish we could have maybe 10 cats or something, but the cost of food nowadays, if you want to feed them something,
Yeah.
good, gets expensive. We actually found the cat food for these homeless cats at Ollie's, and it was what was her name? I guess it was Paula Dean.
Paula Dean, okay.
And it had no corn, no wheat, no soy, so it looked pretty good for $7.99 or something. It was good price.
Yeah, the raccoon guy. He's crazy. He was in a hospital or something, or out sick or something, and then I watched the one where he came back and all the raccoons went crazy because they hadn't seen him for a couple of nights. But 2 senior female cats. Yeah, we've got I don't even know how old our cats are. I know Mickey and Minnie are
our oldest.
They're like they were born in like 2016.
Wait, we don't really know about Chester because
Chester,
we adopted from our daughter. She adopted this cat in Minot, North Dakota, from when they were in the Air Force.
Yeah.
And it was a special needs cat. He has this congenital issue where he walks around like a handicapped cat and wobbles when he walks. It's interesting, but he's as sweet as he can be. But he slobbers on you, doesn't he?
Yeah, they say that that's the best compliment a cat can give you. If you pet a cat and it starts slobbering, that means that cat is just in love with you. A 3-footed, yeah, 3-footed cat. That's cool.
Must have had a leg removed or something.
Yeah, or in an accident.
My sister used to have one. She called it tricycle.
Yeah, tricycle. And somebody had one I called a tripod.
Yeah,
Trick,
that's true.
tricks
I don't
something. I don't remember
know.
tripod, but raccoons
They can,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, the raccoons are funny.
They're really neat
And
creatures.
it's funny. Raccoons will chase a cat and run a cat up a tree, but sometimes they'll get along with cats. It's
They will.
just a weird thing.
Hmm.
We had that raccoon chase my cat away that time in California, and then that lady kidnapped him.
Right.
So yeah, catnap.
We've had a lot of cat nappings. Like we learned that we need to keep our cats in the house all the time because we've had a lot of neighbors. We even a neighbor that lived right next door decided to take our cat in his house and just keep them.
Yeah, yeah.
And we
Keep
knew we
puppies is
had
cool.
them. What we did was we conjured up a plan. We went and got a bunch of dog whistles. And we all went out to the window, and I'm guessing the house was about what 20 foot from our house, or maybe 30 foot.
Maybe 30 feet. Yeah.
30 foot. So we all stood at the window blowing the dog whistles, and our cat actually come to their sliding glass door, and they had those vertical blinds dangling down, and alas, there was the cat, but their dogs were going crazy. And finally, after their dogs went crazy so much, we wouldn't stop blowing the whistle.
They had to
just
open the door.
opened the door and let the cat out. They're like, this is just too
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
And I don't know why they had him. There was no good explanation why they took him in. Was it?
No, it's just crazy. But yeah, the same thing happens.
Who
The
knows?
same
It's
thing
weird.
happens with our grandkids. The cats know when the grandkids come because the cats run and hide. They just disappear. You don't see the cats. They just go. They leave because they just don't like like I say, our grandkids are like toddler age. The two youngest, well, can't say that, but we have a couple that are.
Our oldest son or grandson is almost 4.
Then we have a few that are in the 2-year-old range. So,
Mm-hmm.
all right, without any further ado, let's do our giveaway. Is everybody ready? I want to know who's been watching um, our videos. I'm going to ask a trivia question. And if you've won before on the channel, you can win again. We don't have a rule about not being able to win. So, the only rule here tonight is you have to be a subscriber. So,
Excuse me.
I'm going to ask a question, and if you've been watching the last couple videos, you should be able to get this one right. But whoever answers first is going to win the first prize. Do you know what the first prize is?
The first prize will be. Should we announce the prize first, or? Well, maybe, because then if that prize don't pertain to the person, maybe they'll pass on answering. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because we have different types of prizes. We're gonna save probably the biggest prize for last. Maybe, I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Do you think?
Whatever you want
Okay,
to do.
let's go.
Question number 1.
What is the question?
Right there. That one.
Oh, okay.
You want to ask the question?
Let's give a $25 gift card for this.
Okay.
The
Amazon.
first right answer, right? Is that what we're gonna go on? Whoever has
name tags. Yeah, $25
Amazon gift card
Amazon gift
for
card.
this particular
For this
question.
Whoever answers this question correctly first gets this. Everybody ready? What restaurant makes a soup that was the basis for Tammy's recipe on our beachfront cooking video. See if anybody paid attention in class. Now everybody's going and watching that video.
That's funny. She said she knows it looks delicious.
I'm gonna give a hint.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, he got it. Joe got it.
There's a second.
Joe got it first, just by milliseconds.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Mr. Joe Moore. There we go.
Awesome.
All right,
Yes,
$25 Amazon. Email us at 50pluslife360@gmail.com.
Yes.
All right, second question. There you go. I'm going to put that up there.
Okay, the second question is, what appliance did Paul recently install? And this is going to be for, why did I say it? Okay, this is going to be for another Amazon gift card, a $25 gift card. If you don't know it, you can take a guess, right, dear?
Yeah, take a guess if you don't
I
know.
mean, there's only so many appliances that you can install, so.
Oh.
B. Jones says microwave.
There you go.
Okay.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Somebody else got it first.
Wait, Lena said microwave?
Yeah. Tim says, I swear I really didn't watch it. All right. Congratulations, Lena Lockhart. You got that one. All right. This one's an easy one.
No, we got to figure out what prize is going to go with this one.
Oh, Joe, I'm kind of like, well, since we only have 12 people, probably not. Let's try to give everybody a chance.
What is it?
He wanted to know if he could answer twice because he already won the prize.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
I forgot about making that rule.
But there's always like next.
Yeah, next giveaway. We do these giveaways every 500 subscribers.
Yeah, and it don't take too long usually.
Yeah, because this one we're giving 5 things away because our last giveaway was a month ago and we only had 1,000 subscribers, so we gave away tons of stuff. But we went from 1,000 to we're 600 some, so that's like 1,500, 2,000, 2,500, 3,000, and 3,500 subscribers. So we're giving 5 prizes away now. So by the time we have the next one, we might. Yeah, it's really growing. We're
so
really.
The gift cards were.
You got Joe Moore and Lena Lockhart. Yeah, the channel is really blown up. I'm excited as well. Tammy Joe, it's just like it was phenomenal. I mean, I don't know how to explain it because one of our favorite YouTubers, which is going to be, I don't want to say name, but boom, we got a bunch of subscribers. And then after that, we were kind of riding that wave, and then we did one video about our favorite tiny home, and the channel just exploded. But yes, Jacqueline, you are subscribed. If you can comment, you are subscribed. If you can't comment tonight, you're not subscribed. So if you can comment, the comments on the live are set to be for subscribers only. So that way we know that everybody that wins a prize is a subscriber.
Now, did you figure out how to show them the prize?
Yeah, tell me which one you want me to try to show.
Okay, we're going to do, the next one's going to be a Ravensburger tiny house puzzle, which is really interesting. So I thought that was appropriate for our channel to give this puzzle away.
Well, thank you, Mr. William. We appreciate that. We're trying to learn more and more about tiny homes and be more informative with every video. We're not perfect, and we will take the criticism because we're just learning ourselves, and that's why the channel's here, is because we're learning about them. We want to learn as much as we want to pass what we learn on to other people. I am going to try to get the picture of this puzzle up real quick.
Bear with him.
So give me just a second if this doesn't work. I'm not going to kick us off the live, but I'm going to see if I can do this.
Is it image right there?
No, it's
Put
not going to be
image
an
up?
image because I didn't download the image.
Okay.
I'm going to try a screen capture of our screen and do it like this. Whoa!
I don't think that's quite what we were going for. Sorry, people. I don't know if y'all just saw that. That was quite interesting.
Oops, right here.
We just think that this is such a cool puzzle. We want y'all to be able to see it. But looks like we might not be able to. We have to learn more technology because it's bypassing us, so to speak. What do you think, dear?
No, it's just this thing is. I'm just trying to figure out how to show this picture. And I don't use this software very often. This software we used to use when we had our bird feeder camera up, and it was pretty much plug and play, and you can leave it up 24 hours a day.
Can you just take a still image of it and then just put an image?
Let's see how that works.
Yeah. So you have to put in the image file, but then, you know.
Yeah, I'd have to look for it.
Yeah, never mind. I don't know.
Okay, anyway, let me.
So anyway, if you want to see what this puzzle looks like, go to Amazon.
Yeah.
If you have a phone or something in your hand.
Thank you, Joe. Yeah, I couldn't get it up there.
Let me go back to Amazon, and it's Ravensburger, which, you know, if you don't know anything about Ravensburger puzzles, they're top of the line puzzles. And it is.
I might be able to do this.
Tiny house puzzle. Let's see. What do you think, you're gonna be able to show it?
Might be able to. I just got to figure out how to do it. I mean, that's already good.
It's called Ravensburger Redwood Forest Tiny House.
Yeah, it's a real pretty picture.
It's really neat.
Image. Let's see if I can do that stuff.
It looks like the inside of a tiny house, and you're looking out at the redwood forest. And I just thought that was super cool, considering our channel. So we figured that that would be a neat thing to give away.
It's showing up on the display, but it's not showing up on the feed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
I don't think. Huh. I can't get it to work.
So much for the technicality. Sorry, guys. Now, where's our comments?
It's on the YouTube over here.
Oh, okay.
But see, it's still not showing up on the YouTube.
Oh, it's not. Okay, never mind.
Well, it works on the camera thing, but it's not showing up here. Sorry about that, folks. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, share the screen, and it's just not working. I'll do it. Here's the problem. I could do this stuff, but it requires me to have a live feed going, and then I'll be up here looking at the computer and doing it and people be logging on like, I didn't know you were having a live.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm just playing with a computer, just trying to learn. But watching.
How much did you miss?
Celine and Simple. Yeah, we're nope, all nothing. You guys are so cool.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Lena. Wait, that's Joe. Thank you.
Yeah. No. Still phone. Okay.
Sorry, guys, we're catching up with your comments.
Yeah, I might have froze for a minute because I almost had that picture up there, but
Oh well, don't even try it. Let's.
okay. Anyway, Ravensburger
There you
puzzle.
go.
This is an easy question. This is a gimme because we mentioned 3 or 4, but there's one that's really easy. Who is one? Name one of our favorite YouTubers besides us.
Yeah. I knew you were gonna do that. I was gonna do it too.
Well, tell us if you know. Yes. Oh, Lena, you'd already won something there.
It's still pro.
So B. Jones wins that one. Who said ITH? You are banned from our channel.
No, we don't mind them.
I'm just kidding. All right.
That's funny.
I'm sorry I didn't make that clear, but if you already won a prize, you kind of shouldn't win.
But we are subscribed to ITH.
Yes, we are.
We just don't like watch them constantly because they are repetitive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that goes to Mrs. B. Jones right there. What was that prize? The Ravensburger puzzle? B. Jones.
Yes.
All right, folks, and don't forget, if you've won a prize, there's the email. Email us, give us your address, and we will get this shipped out to you. Next prize. What's the next prize?
The next prize is a Lego Icons succulents version.
Nice.
So that should be very interesting if you're into succulents, but yet into Lego.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's very adult.
It's an adult Lego thing, and I mean it's really nice, but it's just that's going to drive me crazy. I didn't get that.
Just go back. Who cares?
Okay, but anyway, this Lego, if you look it up, it's Lego Ideas Succulents, and it is very pretty. It is very detailed, and it's a really nice Lego set. It's not huge, but it's kind of small size. But if you like toying with Legos, or you have like adult children that like Legos, or even teenagers that like Legos, this is probably not for.
Are you reading?
My
are you reading?
My head's in the way.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah. Put right there, 50pluslife360@gmail.com. Yeah. Right there.
Yeah.
Get backwards on the video. There you go.
No.
Yeah, let me try to get rid of that picture I tried to put in there. So maybe that'll clear up the video.
Oh, it's in there?
No, it's just trying to put it in there.
There.
It's messing it up.
There you go.
So there we go.
Thank you for that info. That helps.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, what's the next prize you said?
The Lego succulents.
Yeah, we only give that away.
Huh?
Did we?
We just was talking about it.
Okay.
That's it. We were on this the page,
so
but
you
not.
got this.
So the only thing we have left is that, and then this. So we give away the 2 gift cards, the 1 puzzle.
You didn't write that down. That's what's confusing me.
Oh, sorry, dude.
All right. Okay. All right, this is another pretty easy one. You don't have to watch many of our videos to get this one. This is a pretty easy one. And if you don't know, you can just guess. Really, ITH is where you learn about us? Wow. I wonder how that happened. We went to ITH, and we stayed at the Grove. Was it the Grove or the? It wasn't the beach. It was. I think it was the Grove. I don't know if it was the Grove or something.
Yeah.
One of their communities in an Airbnb, and for the night. We did 2 videos about that. We did,
Was this her Airbnb?
might have been.
Bridget,
And
do you have an Airbnb?
yeah, it was the Grove. It was the Grove. And we watched that, and well, we did 2 videos, and then we went to ITH the next morning and tried to do some videotaping, and it wouldn't let us videotape. And they wouldn't let us videotape.
But she just watched the video.
Yeah, so we just took a bunch of still pictures of their model homes, and then we ended up doing.
We stayed the night in the tiny home or whatever.
Yeah, we stayed the night.
Then I did some probably illegal rearranging a little bit in there.
Yeah, she did. She
moving
did
a couple things, right?
Yeah, and Vivian was about the same
So,
time. We
anyway.
met Vivian the same time we were up there. And then on the way back because we were on the way to Virginia, then on the way back from Virginia, we stayed again in another tiny home that wasn't affiliated with ITH, but it was just a guy who had built one. And I was out there in on front of that little creek in Cosby, Tennessee. And that was cool too. So we really that weekend was when we really took off on our channel. Yeah, Vivian is amazing. We met her, got to know her. Tammy emails back and forth with her quite a bit, and she's a cool lady. She's I don't know how she gets so many viewers just to sit around and talk. If we could do that, I would do that. If I could just sit here and yak all day long, but back to what I was saying earlier when we first started, that van life being sometimes, I don't know what you do in the downtime. Vivian's got it figured out.
She does.
When she has nothing to do in that van and she's sitting there all by herself, she just knits, or crochets, and plays with Sammy.
Speaking of, it's sitting over there.
Oh yeah.
You want to show that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Too much drama. Yeah, there's a lot going on with ITH. There's a lot going on with a lot of people and a lot of things there, and that's why I'm trying to avoid the subject of ITH because I don't want to get involved in the mess of all their stuff. And I don't want to be seen as disparaging them, which I'm not. And everybody has the right to buy whatever they want.
Be seen dropping the.
Yeah, and I don't want to get mad to the point that I have to drop the
F-bomb.
Yeah.
So we had to buy one of those just because it's novel and funny.
That's the favorite.
That's hilarious.
Favorite little thing I got from Vivian, the F-bomb. But I keep that in my office. So anyway, all right. This next prize, the Lego Icons succulents, is going to go to the person that can tell us the quickest how many grandchildren we have. How many grandchildren do we have?
That's a hard one, huh?
Yep, there you go. You got it. Jacqueline just won.
You see that? Tammy says she sent the pattern for the F-bomb.
Yeah. She's told me that
that's
before.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
She may have told me that, and boy, my mind is shot when it comes to memory.
Congratulations, Jacqueline. You get the Lego. And
one time going through chemotherapy basically just fried my brain. So one time, yes.
All right,
I'll never go back there.
For our last item. What is our last item?
The last item will be.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
Aranic digital clock, wall clock with huge display.
I need that.
And it's 11.5 inches in size, but everything's giant print. So it has the date and the time and.
Nice.
I don't know if it has a temperature. I don't know. Let's look that up. I just thought it was neat. I usually look through the top sellers and the biggest review things when I pick out these prizes. And it's got almost a 5-star rating. It has the day of the week in large letters, just in case I forget what day it is. And it not only says Monday or Tuesday or whatever, but it also says July the whatever, or and then the time, the temperature. So it's all of that. It's pretty neat.
Lena, you won one of the $25 Amazon gift cards. A year. Oh, that must have been rough.
Oh my. I'm sorry to hear that. They actually wanted me to do 14 treatments or something before surgery, and I went through just the one treatment, and my hair fell out the same exact night because they knew that I didn't really want to go the chemical route. And so after that, I just decided to go straight to doing the surgery, and then do things natural to take care of the cancer. So that's what I did.
Well, she was stage 2B, and her tumor was 2.5 inches, and they wanted her to take chemo because they wanted the tumor to be shrunk below 2 inches before they wanted to operate. And they gave her the one treatment, and she's like, nope, not doing it anymore. But when they checked her, that one treatment was so aggressive that
they said it was the size of a grapefruit. So I don't know if is that 2.5 inches, whatever the size of a grapefruit is.
But the tumor went down to 2 inches.
Needless to say, I got it all cut off. So there's nothing else there.
Yeah. So, anyways, all right. I'm gonna throw a softball question because I didn't want too much trivia because I didn't know how many people we were gonna have. A softball question. Yeah. For the last item, the clock.
A digital clock, wall clock.
Yeah. Do you want to ask that question?
And I believe it's is it rechargeable? I can't remember exactly. Let's see. I
love that description.
It's a 11.5 inch LED display, and says it's easy to set and makes the best gift choice, obviously. And
it's probably just battery power.
It may be.
Well, it's got a snooze in the temperature. So it's
just so cool,
Yeah, nice. Well,
super cool.
Thank you. We're going to.
It says it has 2 USB ports.
Oh, okay. Yeah, grapefruit's big. I don't know. They said her tumor was too big to operate, and then the one treatment got it small enough. It was just crazy. So, I don't know.
And I've had that cancer twice, so because they told me 5 years to live back in 2015, but I told them only God knows, and I'm gonna do everything natural if I can from now on. So.
All right, it's almost 9 o'clock.
Okay.
We've been on here an hour and a half. We got one more prize to give away.
And this crazy, insane thing.
Unless you want another question, you come up with one real quick. Because I was coming up with these questions at the last second, so I just came up with that at the last second.
How about
you ready, everybody? Here it comes.
What hobby do we do the most shorts on? And this one's a really complicated one, but it involves hobos.
Yeah, what hobby do we have that we like to do that we do the most shorts on that nobody ever watches?
She said,
and it does have to do with hobos. That's a tough question.
That's a really tough question. Tammy Jo said it. Trains.
Oh, awesome. There you go. Awesome. Congratulations.
Awesome.
There you go.
Nice.
All righty. We got all of our winners.
Yes, we do.
Awesome. So you want to go back over the winners? Joe and Lena have won the $25 Amazon gift card.
Mm-hmm.
Jacqueline won the Lego
Succulents.
B. Jones won the Ravensburger Tiny House Puzzle. And Tammy Jo won the digital clock. So
Mhm.
congratulations to
Yeah,
everybody.
congratulations. Yay.
Somebody paying attention to our videos. So Abby the Spoon Lady.
Oh, wow.
No,
I've never checked her out.
Abby the Spoon Lady.
Huh.
We still are going to do a video on our favorite YouTubers.
Yeah.
Just to promote some of these folks, because we it's really funny how the YouTube community, so many people are approachable, like Vivian, and we try to be, and like one of her hobo friends, he's approachable, and you're welcome.
But
And,
Vivian gets easily creeped out. So if you like want to hang out
Jump
with
and
her or
trains.
something, she thinks that's weird.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Plain and simple, because she's jumping trains. Because jumping trains is a lot like
Hmm.
van life. You got a lot of downtime. I mean, our hobo guy
You're
that
welcome.
we watch, he's just like, the worst part is sitting around watching waiting on the train to jump. And you got to have something to do with your time. So, anyways, but yeah, well, thank y'all. And our email again, if you can see it up there, 50pluslife360 at gmail.com. Just email us your address, and Tammy will get these ordered hopefully tomorrow.
Mhm.
And get them on the way to you. I can't guarantee they'll be there before Christmas, but
You never know
I
about
hope they will.
schedules
And it
right
depends
now
on where
with
you
all the
live.
Christmas gifts going out.
But we appreciate everybody watching us.
We do. We
And
appreciate
we
you guys.
appreciate you coming on the live.
And we like getting personal with y'all. This is neat to learn stuff about you guys. And
Yeah, we may just start doing a live once a month or something.
mm-hmm.
I mean, I
Now,
know
we can't always give away prizes because we
no, but
literally
I'm just saying.
don't have a whole lot of money. But
we may just do a live just to chat, because I know some YouTubers do. We watch Yankee in the South, if anybody watches that. But Yankee in the South, they do their live every Sunday night.
they do.
And I purposefully scheduled ours a little later because I knew theirs was on before 7:30.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like a live once a month just for chatting. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that then. We'll just make a point to do that. Even if we don't have a prize to give away, but our channel growth has kind of slowed down just a little bit, and I think it's seasonal because it's Christmas time, and
Mm-hmm.
not a lot of people have it, are watching YouTube. Everybody's out shopping and getting ready for Christmas and planning their holiday.
Tammy Jo says she's a northerner in the South.
Yeah.
I basically am, I guess.
Too.
I don't know if you want to call it. Is West Virginia a northerner? He's a West Virginian, so
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm from Virginia.
Yeah.
Kind of Fredericksburg, Virginia, which is kind of about 50 miles south of DC. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we always just called it Mid-Atlantic. I don't know if it's north or south. Yeah, Wisconsin is north. That is the great.
But we
great
love
north.
Wisconsiners. They're
Yeah,
awesome. Yeah. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, we had a lady that worked at the
Winn-Dixie.
Winn-Dixie in Jacksonville, Florida.
She was from
Madison.
Madison, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she was a real sweet lady. Didn't she do something with the school too?
She did.
She was like a
resource
lady or something at the school. She's a really
Mm-hmm.
nice lady. And
she lives in Arkansas now. Nice.
Oh, cool.
Hopefully you live in like a notable place in Arkansas. Some of Arkansas is extremely rural. I mean, I guess so is Alabama too, but
we went to
Hot Springs.
That was amazing.
That's beautiful in Arkansas.
That was amazing.
And what we really want to do is get into that. What is it called? Crater something? Diamond
Crater. The Diamond
Park.
something. where you can get fine dining.
That should be fun.
That would be cool because we paying for gold and done all that crazy stuff, but
We love adventures, obviously.
yeah, I have never found a diamond. Found little bits of gold dust, but no big nuggets. And you could obviously, because I'm still here, I'd be in Hawaii if I found a nugget about that big.
Yeah. Have you been there, Tammy? Have you been to the Diamond Crater Park thing?
Large diamond, not long ago. Oh wow!
Oh,
I
wow.
wish you would have paid me.
Or our grandson, right?
Yeah, or my
Oh,
grandson.
thank you. You know.
Yeah. Hey, thanks.
Wait, do you want a Lego set
Yeah,
or
I'll
something?
give you a Lego set for that. I'll give you a piece of candy for that.
That's funny.
That would be cool though. We'd like to try that.
She said she has. It's fun, but she didn't find any diamonds.
Oh, wow.
Darn.
Southern Mid-Atlantic. Yeah, that's about right. West Virginia is like West Virginia and Alabama are so much alike. It's unreal. My sister has come to Alabama a few times because she lives in. We all grew up in West Virginia. And she's come to Alabama a few times. Her favorite.
Have a good night, Lena.
Yeah, have a good night. She had her favorite band was the country music band Alabama. And she used to come to Alabama just because of Alabama, the band. And she's come down here a few times, visited us once, and she's like, it's just so much like West Virginia, it ain't funny. And it is. You got the mountains up north, you got the plains that you get close to the ocean, and then you got the ocean, and it's just, you got a little bit of everything.
And it's very interesting. There's little towns in Alabama that you go there and they're so quaint and charming. And then you look up the crime rate and you're like, maybe we shouldn't be here right now.
Yeah.
And we didn't even know. Like, so we're learning about these little towns. Some of them can be like perfect, like Mayberry, and some of them can be pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But that's in Georgia too. That's another story.
Yeah.
Georgia has some little tiny towns that have a bigger crime rate than say Detroit, Michigan. So
yeah, we went to Ocklawaha, Georgia, where that Vacasia tiny house manufacturer was, and we drove around afterwards to find something to eat. We went in this little town called Cairo, but they call it. It's spelled Cairo, like Cairo, Egypt, but they call it Cairo, like Cairo syrup. And anyway, long story short, we just met some nice people at the McDonald's, and Tammy was,
so they seemed.
Yeah, and Tammy was sitting there editing a video, and we had all these people talking to us. Everything was nice, and then she's like, this is a nice little town. We maybe ought to, put the camper down here tonight and just spend the night here. And then we started looking around for places to park and doing our research, and you look on the internet, it's like, this is like the worst crime-ridden southern little town there is. And we're like, nah, we're going back. We went back to Alabama. We went to Dothan that night.
Yeah, we did. We felt more safe, actually. Yeah. Dothan has a really nice, really
very
good crime
safe
rate.
place. And oh, that's cool. I think you told us that before, that your parents live in Alabama.
Yeah.
Do you know roughly where they're at in Alabama? You don't have to be specific. Yeah, Cairo syrup.
What area are you referring to, Joe? Do you know what he means?
I'm probably.
He's always wanted to live in a certain area.
Live in that area. I don't know if he meant West Virginia or Alabama. Maybe Alabama.
Yeah. What do you mean by that, Joe?
Because we had one of those couples in Cairo, Florida, that asked me. The guy asked me. He says, "How do you like Alabama?" And I said, "Well, I've been there since 2014, and it's kind of like home. Close to Huntsville." Yeah. Okay.
He said southern states.
Yeah. Yeah. The South is really nice.
Just be careful with any town. Like, just make sure you check your crime ratings before you decide to move somewhere for sure, because you'd be very surprised. Because from the outside looking in, driving through a place, you wouldn't even know. Would you?
No, and honestly,
It wasn't run down or anything.
most of the
I mean,
crime,
any of these places.
most of the crime that happens nowadays, when you really dig into it in the South, it has to do with these small towns and cities that used to be mill towns where the cotton was growing, and they used to be mills and all these farms and places and things like that, or agriculture or whatever. And the industry, the main industry, is left now, and then the descendants of people that lived there years and years ago are still there, and there's nothing to do. There's no jobs, no anything, just menial work and low paying, and then the drugs start infiltrating, and then the people got to pay for their habits,
Mm-hmm.
and it ends up just being a lot of petty theft and
It's
that
sad
type of crime.
because there's lots of good people in those communities too. It's very sad.
Yeah, we're happy not to have to deal with snow. I was working on a job offer. Somebody had approached me about a job in the Albany area of New York a few weeks back, and I was just, when I interviewed, they could just tell I wasn't enthused.
And neither was any of the other applicants.
Yeah, they decided they were going to put their job hunt on hold until they found local.
I mean, don't
local
get us
applicants.
wrong. We love looking at YouTube with people that live in Maine and places like that. We think it's so gorgeous up there, but don't know if it's for us to live there, because you just don't get enough summer, spring, and fall. You get more winter. And him and I, we're just not winter people. We grew up in it. We lived in it for a long time, as growing up or whatever.
It's like Tammy Jo says, it's winter for 8 months.
We
lived in Detroit, north of Detroit, in Michigan, for about 2 years, and that was about 2 years too long, because summers were beautiful, but it was just miserable the rest of the year. When it wasn't cold and snowy, it was just gray.
Right, when there's 3 foot of snow on the ground and you're listening because you're just from Virginia or something, and you have school closings, and then you're listening and you're like, there's no school closings. What's going on? There's 3 foot of snow on the ground and I can't get out of my front door. They're like, oh no, y'all need to bring your kids to school.
Yeah.
I don't care if you don't have a 4-wheel drive, get them here.
Yeah.
No bus service, of course, because it's a city. So.
Yeah, we like Florida too. We lived in Florida about 10 or 12 years, and Florida is amazing. It's just that
the cost of going back property now, insurance has went up.
Yeah, thinking about going back to Florida now. There's some mandates now about property insurance and things because of hurricanes, and it's just ridiculous.
My recommendation is South Alabama. Check it out. Like literally, you can be in Florida in no time, and the cost of living is really, really cheap there. And there's a lot of beautiful small towns that have great crime statistics.
Yeah.
So you should check out South Alabama.
Yeah, South Alabama is cool.
If you want land, it's pretty reasonable down there too. Now, I wouldn't say in the city center of Mobile,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that, but more close to Dothan, even closer to Dauphin Island. Believe it or not, between Mobile and Dauphin Island, that area there, if you do yourself a little search on Realtor.com, in what's that little town we were in? That was a little fishing town that we were just at last night or night before last.
Oh,
what was it called?
No, not Bell.
I'm just
something LaRue. It was a.
That wasn't Bayou de Battery, was it?
Bayou de Battery was
Bayou de Battery.
That was a rough little town.
No, I'm saying that there's towns around the outside of that's really like on the way to Dauphin Island, between Dauphin Island and Mobile, there's some great lots right now that you can get for really reasonable prices. You can get maybe a 1,000, 1,500 square foot house on it that needs work, or you could knock that down and put a tiny house, and it will cost you somewhere between $50,000 and $70,000.
Okay. We got some comments.
And you'll be right next to the Intercoastal Waterway, which is absolutely lovely.
Yeah, South Florida, not crazy about that either.
It's very, very
Bruton,
expensive.
we go through Bruton, Alabama a lot when we go to the beach.
Uh-huh.
That's a nice area.
I like Bruton, yeah.
And there's that's not too far where they put the new Buc-ee's.
Mm-hmm.
Not too long ago. And if you're in a van, South Alabama in the summertime, it's probably gonna get a little warm. What do you think?
I think so.
And it depends too, because it's South Alabama. There's microclimates too. You know, it's sort of like certain areas are a little cooler and during certain times of the year, and over here it might be a lot hotter and things like that. You got kind of the sawgrass area down there, and it gets pretty steamy in the summer. Of course, it gets bad up here where we're at. We're in central Alabama, and it gets nasty sometimes. Yeah, winter and fall down that way is best. And then my ideal climate for summertime is like Knoxville, Nashville, something a little mountainous.
But we love Navarre, though. Navarre Beach, Florida. We love that area. But to put a tiny house there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Navarre is close to where you're talking about. B. Jones with Milton and Fort Walton. And we like Navarre. It's not too far from Fort Walton Beach, and right in that area of all that Destin and Santa Rosa and all that. We go to Navarre a lot. You still looking for that little town on the map?
I was, yes. But
there was one called Bella something just up the street.
As far as Navarre though, while we're on Navarre, there's this place that you can get lots that are pretty much unrestricted. I think it's somewhere between, say, there's the Avalon area, the Holly area. No, maybe it's not the Holly area. Is it Baghdad? I know that sounds bad. Baghdad, right?
No, it's a little town in Baghdad.
Bagdad, Florida. You can still get some really good land deals there. Mulat, that's where it was. You and I looked a lot at Mulat, Florida, which is just over the causeway from the beach. But you can get some really good land for good prices and for way less restrictions. You could possibly put a tiny house there, or a van, or RV.
Yeah, that's cool. I love everybody talking to Tammy Jo. That's amazing that we get, some conversation going. I guess some people, it's like watching videos. Some people will turn them on and then just go to the bathroom or go feed the dog or take care of the cats or go get them a snack, or maybe somebody made some popcorn. And
he said his dad pastored a church in Baghdad.
Oh, wow. Cool.
That's interesting.
That's nice.
It's kind of a neat small area that's kind of still undeveloped.
Yeah.
There's a lot of lots there that has lots of potential.
Yeah, that's all neat. It's just amazing down there in that part.
The problem is we just want it to, I hate saying this, but it would be nice if the market would just come down a little bit there, because the markets went up so high there that remote lots in Florida now are expensive, right?
Mm-hmm. They're crazy. I mean, we were coming back from Dauphin Island in Alabama, and they're building a new RV park, and the lots in there, you're 15 miles, 20 miles from the beach, but the RV lots they're selling them for 70,000 right now. Now they're gonna have your amenities, your hookups and stuff, but 70,000 for a lot to put an RV on is
Pricey.
rough, pricey, yeah.
Oh, so was it B. Jones that wants a lot for an RV or no?
I don't think so.
If you want a lot for RVs,
Hold on.
there's a 50 plus neighborhood in Lillian, Alabama, which is on the border of, it's really close to Orange Beach, Alabama, and Pensacola area, Florida. So if you want a reasonable lot, that 55 plus community not only has lots for RVs really cheap, but it also has park model RVs that are already there for sale that's really cheap. And also you can put tiny homes there. So you should check out Lillian, Alabama. That's a neat little place.
And Tammy Jo and y'all were talking about how to respond to something directly. If you just use the @ which is Shift 2, and then you can type in anybody's name that's in the chat and click on them
Oh, really?
like that.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Like
He's
that.
teaching me something.
And then you can respond like that. That would be never bring
But yes, Lillian, Alabama.
Colorado. Where is I'm trying to figure out where Lancaster, Ohio is. It sounds like, yeah, that's not too far from where my brother lives, Lancaster, Ohio. My brother lives north of Columbus in Delaware, northern suburbs of Columbus.
Tammy Jo said thank you.
And Lancaster is sort of southeast of Columbus, I believe. We had traveled a lot in our life. It's just sometimes you got to remember all these places that you've been through. We'd probably travel more. And if you rewind the clock to maybe September of last year to now, we've traveled so much it's been crazy.
Do you see what B. Jones says? Yes, Dorothy, we're going to try to put up some more land videos. We were just experimenting with that one lot that we put up because we were looking at it for ourselves specifically. But we're definitely going to travel around, and when we do go on location to shoot videos, Tiny Homes will also look at lots around those areas. So that should be an interesting thing to do for you guys.
Yeah, the communities with the 55 plus and then those type of regulations, some of them are workable with that and some aren't.
And I'm pretty sure that this particular one in Lillian is actually very, very flexible. I think they're like more flexible than most of them. And if you go to say a Del Webb community, if you know anything about Del Webb in Florida, they are exclusive 55 plus communities. They're extremely expensive, number one, but number two, they have so many rules. Their rules have rules. Yeah. But when you go into these tinier communities like in Lillian, it's a small community anyway. There's a lot less restrictions in there because you have single homes in this development, and you have RVs, you have tiny houses, you have What else do they have in there? Or do you remember?
Don't remember.
Okay.
I was reading more comments, dude.
But it is right on the intercoastal waterway, right across the waterway from Pensacola. So it's really convenient to all beautiful beaches in that area.
Yeah.
The Gulf beaches on Florida coast is just amazing. Now, Gulf beaches, I think, in like Louisiana, Mississippi, there's nothing like. I mean, it's not the same.
Yeah.
Their waves are like about this big, but you go over to the ones in Pensacola or Fort Walton Beach or Destin or Panama City or in any of those, and Orange Beach even, and it's just so much prettier there. Like the sand is prettier, the waves look more like the ocean, but they don't knock you over, which is nice.
Bridget asked a question. What was our opinion on the best tiny home builder to date, price wise, too? So
Price wise?
or anything, just in general, the best one.
That's a hard question.
My opinion, I'm just going to give you my opinion. I like Champion Homes. Or I'm sorry, I said Champion. Chariot.
Yeah, Chariot.
Chariot in
Chariot
Florida.
Eagle.
Chariot Eagle in Florida.
Yeah, for the price point, you got a lot, and their quality was really great too, right?
Yeah, there were a couple of little things that I wasn't happy with in the way they build their homes, but I think for the price value, they were very well put together, and the people were all transparent. They took us through the factory. They showed us every step of the process. They build like 98% of everything themselves. The other builder was the one we just went to, Vacavia. I think their quality has the potential to be as good as Chariot Eagle. It's just that what we saw them building at the time
was commercial.
Was more commercial oriented, so they
for our state park, right?
Yeah, so they weren't building the higher end. But I think for the price value, they can give you a better value and still give you a high quality product. So those have been the two that I've really thought the highest of. Not to say that there aren't some other good ones out there. I mean, but you look at Clayton. Clayton makes a bunch of park model tiny
What
homes.
was the structures, portable buildings? That one was pretty good too.
Yep, and
I don't
yes,
know what it's called.
solid structures, portable buildings. Their kits, they build the kits, and they do a fabulous job. But they're not an individual tiny home factory that just builds.
They're custom, basically.
They're custom, and I think if we were going to get one built by a custom builder, they would be the custom builders.
Well, they're also very flexible. So if you want to do a lot of the work yourselves, they can do like all the framing and they can do all the electrical or whatever and whatever you want.
As much as you want or as little.
They'll stop and then put it on your land, or if you want it fully furnished out, they can do it that way too. So that it's very, or you can buy a kit from them a log kit and put the logs together yourself.
Yeah.
So that's what's interesting about them.
Tammy Joe, the Vacavia was the one we just showed building. That's the one that let us take the camera through the factory tour. Chariot Eagle let us do the factory tour. They didn't let us videotaping because they had so many workers in there working, and they wanted to respect their workers' privacy. But they told us, if you want to come back on a Saturday or Sunday when no one is working, we'll let you walk and videotape anything in the factory you want to. So they were wide open. It's just for privacy reasons, they didn't want us to videotape. But
What I liked about Chariot Eagle, and I'm sorry for interrupting,
no,
but what I liked about them was their hurricane bracing and strapping was so amazing because they're basically overbuilt because of the place that they
Yeah,
make
yeah.
them in.
they're made
Yeah.
in Florida, so they're built for Florida.
Right.
But lofts,
But you can move them into any state and have the same building code as Florida, which I love, you know.
I wouldn't
We
mind.
need that
I
in
wouldn't
Alabama.
mind. I wouldn't
So-
mind having a loft in a tiny home. But the reason for that is because of the grandchildren.
Mhm.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily have to have a loft for myself.
Right.
I mean, I'd rather have one single floor living, and you know,
And the
that's it.
screen porches is nice too.
Yeah.
I mean, especially in the bug season or whatever. But you know what? I'll tell you something about Alabama. We don't get that many bugs, which is very interesting.
depends on where you're at in Alabama, but
That's
you know,
true.
we don't get a lot.
But I mean, we drove through Alabama, um, and went out of Alabama, had no bugs on our windshield like the whole time, and then we got to Tennessee and went to like Newport. And I mean, by the time we got to Newport, we were covered in bugs.
Yeah.
And we're like, what is going on? Why is there so many bugs there and not in Alabama? I don't know. It's not like they fly those planes and spray around here, right?
Yeah.
Or around Alabama. I don't see that very much. They used to do that all the time in Florida, though, didn't they?
Yeah.
There's a lot of commercial spraying. They'll fly over your house and just spray that mosquito spray everywhere in Florida. That's one thing I remember not liking in Florida, especially if you want to take a morning walk.
Yeah.
You better carry your umbrella with you, you know.
Yeah, the whole loft situation is sort of like, you know, a couple things we learned really quick is why I don't understand why people put hardwood floors in lofts. I kind of do, but I kind of don't. So if I had to have a loft, I'd want one that's carpeted if I'm going to crawl around on it, or at least a big, thick
Same
rug.
thing with a baby, you know,
Yeah.
you want a baby to crawl around on something nice and soft. So,
Yeah.
you know, anybody that's crawling.
Yeah.
It's
But
not
I
like you
don't-
want to have to wear Lowe's painting knee pads or
Yeah,
something
but
every
I'm
time.
not going to put a baby in a
construction.
loft, though.
That's true, right? That would be
And then-
silly.
Then the other thing is the stairs and stuff. I mean, I that one custom home that we saw that I videotaped out in Albertville,
Oh, wow.
that had a cool ladder to the loft. It was heavy metal
Mhm.
and it was comfortable getting up and down because it was just sort of like climbing a ladder. So I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but it
But
wasn't
I wouldn't
like
want to
those
do
odd
that
stairs.
bed at nighttime.
No.
Climb a ladder to go to bed every night.
Or go to the
And go to the
bathroom
restroom,
2 or 3
yeah.
times a night sometimes. That's crazy. I just don't understand it.
Mhm.
I just don't understand it. But mosquito trucks, yep. That's what they used to do in Florida all the time.
Mhm.
Yeah, there you go, the
Mhm.
slide. That would be fun. Grandchildren would eat that up. Our grandkids would just climb the slide down.
Mhm.
Yeah, the whole thing I learned this watching a couple of guys on YouTube going up and down stairs because I've had knee problem with one of my knees and she's got her other knee was broken. The trick to going up and down steps is remember bad people go down, good people go up. So when you're going down the stairs, you lead with your bad foot or your bad knee. And when you're going up the stairs,
That's right, Dorothy.
you lead with your good
That's
knee.
funny.
So
See
that
that?
helps. What was it?
Dorothy said hardwood floors and lofts only with your rolling stool
Yeah.
invention that you're planning
Yeah.
on doing.
Yeah, I got a couple emails out to a couple of manufacturers about that, and I'm waiting to hear back from somebody. I don't know how it's going to go. Yeah, put the slide directly in the bathroom. You know, I don't know why they make stair lifts for stairs. You know, the seats that go. I don't know why they don't do that in tiny homes. Just make a little lift you can set on and hit a button and go up to
Right.
your loft and set back on and go down.
They should have.
Yeah.
That'd be good. He's like, oh my gosh, I come up with another invention. That's funny.
That's
That's
another
hilarious.
invention. Yeah.
With B. Jones, I like standing up. That's a good deal instead of having to crawl everywhere and everything.
I hope the stool is too. Y'all might not see me on videos.
Come on now.
But no, I don't know.
We could do
We'll see
this
how
for
that goes.
free, right?
Yeah, I'm just.
Oh, we do.
Yeah, there you go. Reverse laundry chute. That was one thing I missed from Detroit was having a laundry chute. Of course, you don't need it in some houses, but we had a laundry chute in the house in Detroit.
Yeah.
And you just put the hamper underneath it at the bottom and drop your clothes. Of course, our basement was down there, but yep, always something, always thinking of something.
Definitely.
That's what stinks is with the internet nowadays. You come up with these ideas and you're like, I bet nobody ever thought of that. And then you go on the internet and find out somebody already has most of your inventions.
So here's a question for you guys. How many houses have you lived in your life? Do you even know how many that you've lived in? Was it a small amount or a lot? Paul and I, we've just moved every few years because we're suckers for renovation, or at least we used to be back when things didn't ache. We were renovating all the time. Houses while we were living in them. Not a lot of people like doing that. It's kind of crazy. Paul just stepped out a minute. I guess he has to use a restroom. Oh wow, that's quite a bit. Yeah, Paul and I, if we had to put them all together, just the ones that him and I together has lived in, we're on house number 16. Yeah, but wow, you guys are right there behind us. Tammy Jo, you've lived in 11. Wow, amazing. Oh, from childhood, okay. So, 31, Kathy? Wow, that's amazing. Is that from childhood or that is really amazing. Tell us the story. Kathy, inquiring minds want to know. Wow.
I'm back.
So Kathy Taylor told us, I just asked about how many houses we've all lived in, and Kathy says she's lived in 31 different houses. That's a lot.
Military or? Albuquerque.
Canada, Albuquerque, Iowa, Washington State, Utah, Colorado. Wow, that's a lot. It's like us. Yeah, we met each other in a nursing home in Virginia. We moved to South Carolina. We had all three of our children. We moved to Michigan.
Wait a minute. We had one.
Oh, wait, one right before we left to South Carolina. Yeah. Okay.
Our oldest. Of course.
Then we moved to Michigan. Then we moved to California. Then we moved to Florida. Then we moved back to Virginia for a while. And then we moved here. And we've been in Alabama for, I don't know, 10 years?
9.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pardon me. But we love real estate. We've thought about real estate as careers, right? We've thought about it because we've seen so many houses in our days and years of House Hunters. How many of you guys ever watched House Hunters episodes? That was quite an interesting show. I think they still have House Hunters on HGTV. I'm not sure. We cut the cable long ago, so we only get to watch the reruns and whatever's on Hulu, I guess.
There's a van lifer I watch. Tammy doesn't watch him as much, but he is. If I could find him, he likes to travel in his van and cook, and he'll show his recipes, and they're nothing super fancy. But it just looks good, and he recently did a long road trip to Alaska, as far north as he could drive in Alaska. And he's a younger guy. He's probably mid-30s, but he does some interesting stuff. He's got a really nice van built out, but I can't remember his name. We watched so many. Snow and Kurt is another one we watch.
We need to take these down because
But I have.
it's nice to have extra people to watch. Really fun.
But I haven't watched Snow and Kurt for a few weeks since they left Central America or South America. And we used to watch Sarasota Tim, but it got to where I got tired of looking at the inside of a Walmart every day.
Have you guys ever seen Sarasota Tim? He's ridiculous. He's totally ridiculous. He lives in his RV now, but his videos are about 400 videos about Social Security. That's the same exact thing. Why you should retire at 62, right? Yeah. And there's only so much you can talk about on that. And also, I guess he does some cooking, right? He does some cooking, and lately he's just did some random like look at my some sheds or whatever. So if you're into the shed videos or whatever, then you might see a shed on there that you like. But he's only did maybe 1 or 2 shed videos. Yeah. I guess it was just his experimental phase. But mostly he just takes you to Walmart with him. He's like, I'm at Wally World again, right? That's what he calls it. Lava Lindy.
Oh yeah, I watched her.
Yeah, Lindy.
Yeah,
she's a really. Is she like 80 some? Or 70
she's
some?
up there. She's getting there.
Yeah. Pretty fun to watch, though. Pretty fun.
Yeah, the challenge.
Lava Lindy came to Newport to see ITH with Gloria on Wheels. Oh, really? Oh, wow. That's cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we tried to talk Vivian into thinking about getting her one of those little tiny homes from ITH, but I don't know if she's really wanting to. The challenge with ITH is if you have a piece of land and you can haul one of their
units
or wherever you want,
boxes.
that's one thing. Yeah, but I mean, they have such an expensive buy-in now for lots, and you're paying them $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 so you can rent a lot from them.
Right.
And I still have heartburn over that. So if I'm going to own the lot, I'll pay to develop it.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm paying to develop it so I can rent it, that seems like a cost that the owners should built into the deal.
Well, thanks, Tammy. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, we I saw a comment. I can't remember what it was just a few minutes ago, but
From childhood military, after military, went to Canada, West and East Coast and states, Seattle, Atlanta, Nashville, Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, Tennessee. Wow,
wow,
nice. You've really been around.
yeah, that's
So
crazy.
you were
Military.
childhood military brat. Uh-huh.
And,
Not saying you're a brat or anything. Guess that's just what they call you. Excuse me.
Stuck on no more custom homes. Yeah.
We may throw in some more affordable mobile homes too,
Yeah.
because some people are asking about mobile homes.
Yeah, we get a lot of people that are interested in them. And I mean, I've tried to, when we first did a video or two about tiny homes. It's funny how people get weird about stuff, but tiny versus of tiny versus all these things, and I don't mean to hurt anybody or leave anybody out, and we've always said if you're going from a 2,000 square foot house to a 800 square foot mobile home, you're going tiny. You're living tinier than what you were, so you're downsizing. But even what we've learned just from traveling between Georgia and Alabama and Tennessee and Florida, these definitions are sort of squishy. It's sort of like what defines a tiny home here may define a RV here. What's called an RV here may be a modular here. What's a modular here may be an RV over, and it's just you got to really watch your terminology.
I think pretty much sometimes with some people you have to have pronouns for tiny houses.
Yeah. That's what it feels like. It's like, oh, did I offend you by using your incorrect pronoun? I don't know, but is it a house and is it small? It's like, okay, so it's a tiny house. But we try to cover as many bases as we can. But we're doing that as much for us as we are for anybody else. But it's, would I live in a single wide? Yes, I grew up in a single wide as a kid. It was a 14 by 70 single wide mobile home, and it's just how I grew up.
And we flipped a 1970s.
Yeah, we flipped a single wide mobile home.
Was it single wide or was it double?
Oh, it was a double. Yeah, it was a double.
Yeah, a small double wide.
Yeah,
that was a fun adventure when everything is custom to mobile home size, and you're trying to fit all the drywall and door frames and doors and things in a mobile home when it's residential.
But yeah, it's just there's just so many housing options. But the other challenge is regulations, and regulations vary so much depending on where you live, because people will go look at, get on ITH, their website, or get on their videos and say, oh, I want one of those houses. And that's fine and dandy if you want one, but actually buying one and moving it to where you live, you may put your money down and then find out, oh, in the county I live in, I can't live in that. I'm not allowed to. So
you see what B. Jones is saying?
Yeah, loan companies. Yeah. Loan companies are a little different too. They have their own scenarios and what they'll do and what they won't. And that's what some of the more advanced tiny home builders are figuring out, like Vocavia? Is it Vocavia?
Yes, Vocavia.
Vocavia and Chariot Eagle, is they're figuring out, okay, in order to make this whole financing work so we can sell more of these homes, we have to build these homes a certain way and to certain standards so they can be sold easier. And so they're doing it that way as opposed to just building a house, getting you to sign a contract and then not being able to put it anywhere. So it's a lot of stuff.
Tammy says she's still doing something wrong, trying to tag people. Hopeless sometimes. Me too. Technology's just crazy.
It's a shift.
If I could just go back to dialing the rotary phone again, I would be cool. I could get up and, tune in the station again. I'd be fine with that on TV. Oh, one thing I was thinking about, when you buy a mobile home, if you ever considered a mobile, I would buy it in Florida, believe it or not. In Alabama, we have tornadoes, like some other states, and the regulations and requirements for them to build these things are very few and far between. They don't have very many rules and restrictions, so you come up with like a wind rating of pretty much 0 on mobile home builds in Alabama, which is weird. Yeah. So you really have to watch the manufacturer with mobile homes, like which one you go with, and hopefully it's one that's built in Florida where the standards are a lot more heavy duty.
Well, yeah, you gotta familiarize yourself with the wind zone map and figure out where you're going to live. What wind zone are you rated for? Most places are wind zone 2 in the south, and as long as you buy a home that's rated for wind zone 2, you should be safe. Now the extreme coastal areas are not wind zone 2, but that's something you have to be careful of. Then you get into the HUD approved. See, with HUD approved, which Chariot Eagle makes, HUD approved homes, you can get the HUD finance.
That's true, right? And the hurricane strapping is phenomenal. Like, it seems like there's tons of them, isn't it?
Yeah, and I showed that one at Chariot Eagle, that smaller one. We showed that one. It was $50,000 starting price.
Oh,
and I was just reading. And it was a HUD approved, and it was worth every penny if you ask me, comparing it to a $25,000 Incredibox.
Oh, definitely. I thought so too.
So,
can you imagine what an Incredibox would do in a hurricane or a tornado?
Yeah. But I mean, you've got
run for your life.
You've also got another.
I don't know.
That's another thing we're getting into is there's a NOAA standard, NOAH, for tiny homes, and then there's an ANSI standard for RV park models. So you need to find out if you're going to buy a tiny home. Is it NOAA, built to NOAA standards, or is it built to this IBC or whatever it is, standards, or is it built to ANSI, or are there no standards that it's built to?
Right.
So
they're still trying to figure out the.
Yeah, they're good. I think everybody's figured it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, do we need to put out a course for y'all? I mean, not me. Wait, let's leave me out of this. But maybe he could put out a course for you.
No,
I'm in the same boat. I ask him to do everything when it comes to technology. I mean, really everything, right? I mean, I'm lucky I know how to flush the toilet.
Yeah.
If they made it electronic, I might need assistance with that.
What was it last night?
Tammy Jo said she'd sign up.
She's like, oh yeah, she gets so frustrated so easily, and then she gets mad at me. When I get frustrated, I get frustrated, but it takes a bit for me to get to that point. But she gets mad when I get really frustrated, because once I get frustrated, it's like, and it aggravates her. But she gets frustrated so easily. Last night, we bought we bought another computer to carry with us, so we can do editing on the road. So we don't have to come home to this massive computer and carry it around and things. So we put together a bag with the computer in it, all in a little keyboard and the mouse, and then we bought this little tiny monitor. It's a 15-inch monitor, about that big, and it comes with this little plastic protective cover that snaps onto the front, so you don't scratch it. Well, the cover, when you snap it off, it's like one of them iPad cases. It flips around, folds around, and makes a stand for the monitor. And it's got a little magnetic clip on the bottom, and she was just couldn't figure it out, and she kept flipping that thing, and then she set it on there, and the monitor just fall on the ground. Yeah, she was so mad.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, I'm just going to take this thing back. I'm just going to return it when we get back home. And it's like, you open the thing up and it's got the instructions inside how to fold it. So she gets so mad at it in like 2 seconds, she was ready to return it. So.
Okay, so Bridget is asking, she said, sorry for asking again, but may have scrolled by. What are your taxes in Alabama? Retirement, sales, personal property, etc.
Okay, let me start with sales tax because that's the easiest. Most parts of Alabama, sales tax
10%.
is 10%.
Mm-hmm. A little high on the sales tax.
Yeah, it varies from 8 to 10. That includes state, local, and county.
But they are starting to
combined.
discount the sales tax for groceries now. They're not going to give you free tax on groceries, but they're taking off like 2 or 3 cents or something.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if that's going to help us or not, but we did just get a stimulus check from the state of Alabama.
Yeah.
Everybody in Alabama got a stimulus check, which was nice because they had COVID money that was left over and they had it in this fund, and they're like, what are we going to do with it? Let's just give it to the people. And we said, wow, finally somebody's speaking my language,
Yeah, but state.
It was only $300, but it's for a couple without children, right?
Yeah, state sales tax is 3.5, but then your local usually takes that up to, I'm going to say average statewide is 9% sales tax. Retirement is standard income tax, except for Social Security. You do not pay tax on Social Security benefits in Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Third thing, personal property, that varies based on the county you live in, of course, but the millage rates are reasonably low. Our home, we get a homestead exemption, which knocks like $25,000 off.
And I believe if you're a senior, there's a discount for that too. I don't even think you pay tax on your house.
After you hit 65, you don't pay taxes on your house anymore.
Right.
But up until you're 65, our tax is, what is our tax? $1,200 a year?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of places out there you can find that are a lot cheaper than that. But our house is pretty large. And it's in a really, I guess, a higher end area, maybe, I guess you can say.
Yeah. I mean, our house,
not that I want to be snooty or anything. I'm not a snooty person.
Our house is probably, when we bought it,
it's just a very popular school district.
Yeah, we live in one of the two most popular counties in Alabama.
Our particular high school is where the University of Alabama gets a lot of their football players. Yeah. So, and so that makes our equity really good, right? But we do want to sell our house really fast because
in Alabama you get to claim some of your.
We don't need all the overhead.
You get to claim a certain amount of your sales tax towards your income taxes, but it's a limited amount. They have flat amount you can claim, or if you want to keep every receipt you ever use all year long and do that, you can claim a little bit more. But it's easier just to take the tax. They do have what they call tax-free holidays in Alabama, where certain items during certain times of the year are tax-free. Like they always have a back-to-school tax-free holiday. It's like a weekend from a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You can buy all back-to-school items and not pay sales tax on them. And then hurricane / severe weather preparedness, you can buy items like generators, um, anything for storm prep, tax free. So that happens a couple times a year.
But personal property is really cheap. Like your cars,
Yeah.
car tax, and things like this. You pay it in your tag, and it's really cheap. I mean, we have a 2023 Honda Ridgeline, and what did we make out at, like, when we went and got the tags and title and paid taxes all together? It was like $200.
About 200 a year.
That's really cheap. Like you go to Florida and that's going to cost you like $2,000.
Yeah.
For a brand new car. So yeah, there's advantages, I guess.
Yeah, the homestead break is nice. In Alabama, I think it's $25,000 off of your assessed value, which doesn't seem like a lot, but they never assess your house for what your market value is. It's a assessed value, which has got a certain percentage of what it's always based on. In Alabama, the trick to it is it's based on what you paid for the house. So if you buy the house this year, you're going to pay more in taxes than the person that owned it before if they kept it for a few years or whatever. But then it's a percentage of that, which is your assessed value, and then they take the $25,000 off for your homestead as long as you reside in the house. But
so B Jones says their tax is 9.75, and Tammy Joe says their tax is 8.625. Now, are those? I mean, I don't think those are around the whole state, though. Those are probably just for your particular area, because I know Nashville is more expensive, and not sure about Arkansas, but I know Nashville's more expensive than, say, Newport as far as taxes is concerned, sales tax.
Now, like some states have no tax on groceries, so. But I know Florida used to be, groceries were tax free.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but one thing we do have, a lot of states have where they, and this is kind of dumb, but a lot of states have inspections on your cars, car inspections. We don't have inspections on our cars. So you don't have to get an inspection sticker or anything. Now you do have to have common sense and make sure if you have a headlight out, you get that fixed. But because you will get pulled over by police regardless of whether you have an inspection or not. But
yeah, it's just a tax. They used to do that.
That's cool. No inspections
in Virginia.
Arkansas either.
And Virginia also had a county tag you had to get. You get your regular license plates for the front and back of your car.
Right, that was
pay
silly.
for your tag on there for your date, but then the county requires you to get a tag.
And some of those states have those things they stick up your exhaust. It's what do you call it? The emissions testing. We don't have that either.
Yeah.
So I guess there's some advantages to living here, and on top of that, people know how to say please and thank you and excuse me. Where I've been in some places like Florida, people forget their manners. That's why I always say Florida.
Yeah, Florida.
No offense to Florida, because I love Florida, but it's still kind of Florida,
Yeah, that's the funny thing about Florida is it's like always. If you want some high level entertainment, look up Grady Judd. GRADYJUDD. He's a sheriff in the central part of Florida, and he does a he does a news conferences when he catches these thugs and criminals, and it is just so fun to watch. But the people in Florida are nuts, some of them, and he will highlight them for you. I like watching him, Grady Judd, and then also like watching those Arkansas State Police. They love to chase people down the highway and spin them out and cause them to wreck and stuff. But yeah, smog inspection, California, and everything else.
Oh, Florida don't have any tax on groceries,
Yeah, that's what I said. That
Oh, you said that,
Florida
okay,
doesn't
yeah.
have that. Yeah.
but they also don't have state income tax, which
Right.
is nice.
No state income
But the
tax,
problem
no
is other
tax.
things are higher, like your house tax is higher, and
Yeah.
personal tax is higher. So
Yeah.
it's weird. It seems like you give a little here, but you gotta they'll take a little here. So I don't know.
I got a nickname for Randy Jones, but I ain't gonna say it out loud. I don't want to hurt anybody's
Hey,
feelings.
there was a singer named that.
Yeah, that's true.
There was a singer named Jesus Jones. oh, it's funny. He means well.
Yeah, that sheriff.
He
is
means
something.
well.
He's J.
Oh, I
Randy
meant Randy.
Yeah.
He means
meant
well.
Randy. Yeah.
Deep down in his heart, he means well. Thanks. Hilarious.
It's it's the Jesus and Jezebel show.
Maybe. Hey, what about Melissa? Maybe we should mention Melissa. Does
Yeah,
anybody-
we just recently started watching her.
What's her name? Melissa.
Melissa Misadventures.
Misadventures.
Um,
Yeah. Speaking of Randy Jones, Melissa Misadventures is quite interesting.
But we don't want to start that.
They've been having good adventures together, haven't they?
Yeah, back and forth.
So if you like drama, maybe you should tune in her channel.
Yeah.
It's a good drama for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did. Pretty sad. All over for something stupid. I think her mom had a problem with her stairway in the tiny homes and asked Incredible Tiny Homes to fix it, and they wouldn't fix the stairs. And so her mom took them to court about it. So that's how the little skirmish started, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's how it all started.
Yeah.
But
needless to say, they didn't want them in the community anymore, so they didn't renew their lease.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. But, there's going to be a conflict of interest that arises if you are in tight-knit community with other people. So.
Yeah, that's what I like to say. Saving drama for you, Mama.
Yeah. Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
But yeah, I mean, it's always just a buyer beware. And I try to say that. I mean, it's like one of the big things I always do. You can watch anybody's YouTube channel, and you can either love them or hate them, or just take them with a grain of salt, or however you feel about anybody. But like before I would give my hard-earned money to somebody, I'm going to go to the Better Business Bureau and look at their ratings. I'm going to go to Glassdoor and see what the people that work there think of working there. And I'm going to do all my research and investigation, and I'm going to look them up on YouTube, and I'm going to look them up on the internet, and I'm going to see how I feel about the final decision of my money. It's just like going out to a new restaurant. You go to a new town, you're going to look on the internet and say, best places to eat near me.
Right.
And if you read the reviews and they all seem like it's a computer that wrote the reviews, you're gonna be like, well, maybe I don't want to go there.
Mhm.
And then you're gonna see one review or two that's like a 1-star review, and it got really long list of complaints. You might think, oh, maybe I better not, or so you just got to study that and read comments and figure out what's
Where were we in the 70s and 80s and 60s
yeah,
without reviews? Reviews are so awesome. They keep us from going to crappy places that we don't want to go to.
yeah. I said that to somebody the other day. I said if I was 15 or 16 right now, I'd be unstoppable because the internet. You got the capability to have all this knowledge and information at your fingertips and get through so much nowadays that you couldn't when we were growing up.
Mhm. Yeah, him and I actually, we watch a lot of YouTube as well, but we learn on YouTube how to do a drum brake job on a 1995 Ford F-150, and him and I did it together in our garage, and that was quite interesting. We had springs popping everywhere, didn't we, dear? It was interesting. It was a very springy situation.
But you can figure out how to work on cars, you can fix appliances, you can do things around your house, and it's all at your fingertips nowadays.
Oh, look, Tammy Jo said her daughter changed the starter on her car watching
Yep,
YouTube.
yep.
See, everybody can do it nowadays. You don't have to be a mechanic anymore.
No, you just gotta, the biggest thing is just the biggest thing is impatience. People will watch a video and they'll be like,
That's true.
oh,
Me too.
it looks easy, and then they'll get started and they won't watch the whole video, and then they'll blow something up or mess something up. And that's a lesson I learned is to watch the video all the way through, because you might miss that one little important thing that keeps your house from going kaboom or something.
Right.
So I don't know. Oh wow, I didn't even realize that.
What is that?
Says you can go to the courthouse and read all the hearings and know what all went on
Hmm.
with that whole deal. Yeah, look it up on YouTube. We used to say that a lot. And it gets frustrating sometimes. The flip side is it does get frustrating because it's weird. Tam and I had this conversation a few times, but when I was little, I was the youngest in my family, and my next sibling was 10 years older than me. And then my next one above that was 12 years, and then it kept going and going. And so I was at home with elderly parents because I was a oops kid.
Mhm.
And my oldest sister would burn the telephone up all the time because she had kids that were about my age, but she would call our mom and want all this parenting advice. You know, it's 55 degrees outside today, Mom. Do I put a sweater or a heavy jacket? And do I have to bundle up her face? Do I need to put a scarf? Do I need, and it was just all the time on the phone, just asking questions. Is she too young to feed green beans to, or is she gonna get strangled on those little strings? And it was just all the time she was on the phone with my mom getting parenting advice. But nowadays, you try to offer a little advice to your kids. Well, the internet says this.
It's
The
true.
internet doesn't
It's
say to
true.
do that. The internet says this. Like, well, okay, go read the internet then, and maybe the internet will raise your kid, or I don't know.
Well, it's going to be robots before too long. Right?
Yeah, yeah. But,
Robot parenting. That'll be very interesting.
So everything you just sort of got to, But I mean, you can like crocheting. You can learn that. You can learn how to play any musical instrument on YouTube nowadays. Um,
B. Jones says that my husband learned to do sheetrock on YouTube too a long time ago. You can get more tips on sheetrock out there that I never knew of, even though we did it our own way. But there's always somebody that's been doing it a lot longer than you that has those pro tips for sure.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, there's a big thumb there. Somebody give us a thumb over there on your face. Like
in my face. Thank you. That's hilarious.
Oh, there's one on my face.
That's funny. Didn't know you could do that. Okay.
Well, I want to cook some more. I didn't enjoy what you ate. Oh, cool. Yeah,
Oh, thank you.
We just we tinker around with video ideas because we always like to do more than just tiny houses all the time. But it's hard to. You put a video up and then you do a tiny house video and you get 5,000 views, and then the next day you put up a cooking video and you get 300 views. And it's like, well, did people really enjoy that or not? And we enjoy making it, sure. And
people tell us that you don't want to have a YouTube channel that's Walmart that has everything. Heinz 57, and we tend to be that way sometimes.
Dorothy says, "You've been going over 2 hours." Yeah.
Oh no.
We just got in here and started talking. Everybody said we just like talking and chatting, so let's just stay on here until we can't talk anymore.
It's nice. I love the intimacy. I like the having a smaller group is really nice.
Yeah, and then
that's nice.
Cool.
We're gonna have a meet and greet someday.
Yeah, one of these
that'll be fun.
Oh yeah, we watched Live Simple, Live Free a lot.
Oh yeah, we have lots of meet and greets.
And they're having a meet and greet coming up in Florida, so we're thinking about going to that. It's sometime in February.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're a tiny house prepper, right? Like where they used to be, tiny house prepper.
Yeah.
Live simple, live free.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, it's been fun, Joe. I appreciate that. Yeah, the algorithm does get messed up if you try to diversify too much, and that's sort of like what we're learning is trying to diversify enough, but not too much, because some of the YouTubers we've been studying have found a recipe for success where they can diversify, but not diversify too much. So they stick to like 4 or 5 streams of video types and do that. And I think that's what her and I have been discussing. As we get on into the Christmas holiday here, we're going to sort of try to streamline our channel into maybe 4 to 5. I don't want to call them channels, but streams of content.
We still want to stick it out in the 50 plus kind of life, like anything after 50, to deal with growing older is very much of interest to us. Definitely, right?
Yeah. I'll tell you, if you're gonna pick one thing for your channel, people don't seem to watch, and I'm not trying to be wrong about this in the wrong manner.
What do you mean, like our family videos?
Well, they don't watch your Bible stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
We've done Bible study videos, and
although
very little.
Live Simple, Live Free has a regular program she does. Tea with
Jesus. Tea with Jesus, but
and she does pretty decent.
She does okay, but when you
not
look,
as good as everything else.
When you look at their typical channel and video views versus what they get with Tea with Jesus, it's only a fraction. And travel would be probably, out of your travel, church, and family, would be the one to focus on. Just focus on the travel and what travel. Find something unique about your traveling, like something you do when you travel that you do everywhere you go, and focus on that. Or because we didn't start out to be a tiny house channel at all. We sort of got zoomed into that. It just happened. We fell into it backwards. and we don't have a problem with it. But
we did start out with the name 50 Plus Life 360,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And we were going by that. What do you do when you're plus 50 plus? You know, what happens in your life? And guess what? The first thing that come along for us was, what do you think about downsizing? Okay, well, that's fine. But when we bought this house, which was a few years ago, right? Like
mhm,
almost 3 years ago, it was the height of the market. And there were 17, 18 different offers on every house that we went to buy. And we ended up with the largest house that we offered on because we had no other choice. We literally got bid out on every other house that we had an offer on, other than this one. And we knew going in that this house needed some work. Um, but we took this house, and the only reason we got the offer was because we decided to do um, our own inspection and not let the inspection nullify the contract in any way.
Yeah.
That's what we did. So that's how we got this house, was we went past having an inspection. So we have to live with the quirks of that idea.
But yeah, I like the idea. We've talked about that, Tammy Jo, with the reaction videos. That was one of the thoughts we had about doing reaction videos because we do have some funny reactions. I mean, there's times we could just I wish we just had a camera on us 24 hours a day, because there's stuff that just happens and we end up dying laughing about stuff. And I think a lot of people would find it funny. Like
Do you
yesterday,
think they saw the video when we were at the botanical gardens? Because they might not have watched to the
no,
end.
I was going to say
A lot
that.
of people
Yeah.
didn't watch to the end of that one. And Paul, he sat on a rock over in the Japanese garden and poked his belly out, and he was looking like a Buddha,
Yeah,
like a happy Buddha.
yeah, y'all got to go back and
It's
watch that
funny.
video and
It was
scroll
really
towards
funny.
scroll towards the end. But we were in the Japanese garden, and that's when we were talking about a giveaway that was coming up. It was like a video right before we did our first. I don't remember what it was, but it was. We were in a Japanese garden talking. We were in the bamboo, and we were leaving, and I sat down, and nobody commented on it, so I know nobody watched the whole video all the way
Right.
through.
It must have been boring or whatever at the beginning.
Yeah, but I sat down on a rock and I poked my belly out as far as I could get it, rubbed my belly like this, and I went, I'm Buddha. And she got it on camera and she put it in a video. Nobody said a word about it, but I was like, well, we might offend some Buddhist people. And she's like, no, it's just funny.
But happy Buddhas are
Yeah,
always
yeah,
nice
this is
and
a
big and
happy
chubby, you
Buddha. But
Tammy said she thinks she did.
we ran into a guy yesterday, and I don't know what his deal was, but we were going up to Ollie's to get cat food.
Sorry, B. Jones,
and
keeping him up past his bedtime, or her. I mean,
so
because it's the wife, yeah.
oh yeah. So we were just pulling up to the store, and this guy was up there. He was from Mississippi, had a tag on there, and it says something about, it wasn't a regular license plate on the back of his car, but it just said Mississippi, and then it said, I love my Trojans.
Yeah.
And I know it was a sports team, but Tammy's like, he really likes his condoms, don't he? And I'm like, yeah. I said, better late than pregnant, I guess. But we just laughed our butts off.
We wanted to say something to him.
Yeah, we were going to say something, but he got in the car too fast. But but yeah, we just do some funny stuff to say some funny stuff, and then we start laughing, and we can't stop sometimes, and we just don't turn the camera on for that stuff. But yeah, we wanted to do some reaction stuff. We thought about that. We just got to find the right stuff to react to, because we'll see stuff, and I'll videotape it, even if it's on TV or something. Like some videos we'll see, and we're just like, that's nuts. But I've got to figure out how to do this because I couldn't even put a picture up of this thing tonight. So I've got to be able to put a video up playing while our face is next to it, and it gets a little complicated. So I'm going to play with that. So in the next couple of weeks, if you guys see a live pop up that's not announced, it's because I'm just practicing. So you can feel free to get on there and say hi, but I may not be doing anything other than practicing. But we got to figure out how to do that.
And by the way, we are going to have to make that video. We bought a bunch of, or didn't. We won a bunch of dollars from World Market, and we spent money on a bunch of world food there. And we're going to do like a taste test thing on there.
Yeah.
And we've seen this thing called Tribal People Try, and that's kind of hilarious. If you ever seen that show, or if you haven't, check it out on YouTube. Tribal People Try. But we're going to do something similar to it. We're going to go with Alabama People Try.
Yeah, there's
rednecks. Hillbillies try. No.
But yeah, I can look it up on YouTube pretty easily. That's how I learned to use most of this stuff anyway. But we do catch a lot of people that are like faking it out, you know?
Yeah, the New Zealanders, right?
Yeah, there's people on there that's like British People Try. There's like a couple of British people channels.
Them too.
And they'll get on there and they'll be like, British people try Taco Bell.
For the first time. And you look up Taco Bell in UK and you see Taco Bells everywhere.
There's like Taco Bell on every corner. And
you're lying.
And it's like, and then there's a New Zealand family. They're a nice family.
They are.
But they did videos like New Zealand people try Chick-fil-A for the first time, and you look on the New Zealand website.
And they have Chick-fil-A.
There's like Chick-fil-A's, you know, and it's like, you've never tried Chick-fil-A? Really? So
it's all just like a big made up schmozzle.
Yeah, it's kind of made up stuff.
I love the truth. It's so nice to tell the truth, and you know, you may get a little criticism about telling the truth, but it's better than telling a lie to your audience, I believe.
That's true.
Honesty is the best policy.
She didn't want me to put this on camera tonight. My daughter bought this for me a couple of years ago to put on my desk. She said I was a CFO. And I said, oh, that's cool. And then I looked closer. I'm a CFO.
Right.
So, but anyways, I'm about
you don't do that very much.
I'm about sleepy. What's happening? Good.
Yeah, we've kept them up way past their bedtime.
It's 11:30 on the East Coast. 11:30, 10:30. 10:30. It's my bedtime, man. I gotta get my beauty rest. A guy that does some stuff off grid. Yeah.
Huh. That stinks.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that do that. We call it clickbaiting when you do a thumbnail. And you get people to click on it because of your, and we talked to Vivian about that. She said sometimes you just got to clickbait. You just got to clickbait people. But we try not to do it, but sometimes it's hard to resist. But I like Snow and Kurt, van lifers that travel all over the world. They're getting ridiculous about it.
Right,
sometimes it's like, our van is lost or something, and then you just find out that it's on a ship and they're waiting for it to be shipped to Europe. And it's
they stole everything, or they took everything.
Yeah, they took everything. Well, you put your van on a boat, so they would take everything. So some of that clickbaiting is aggravating. So I don't know, but anyway.
Have a good night, Jacqueline.
Yeah, I'm yawning a lot. I'm getting sleepy.
So Dorothy says, have you ever watched any of J&B in the Hills YouTube videos? They are foodies and go to amusement parks, etc. They live in West Virginia. Never, but we'll look them up, or at least I haven't.
I think I've seen maybe one or two of their videos. I think maybe I saw them go to Dollywood or something once. But I can't remember if that was them. Write that one down. We'll look them up.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, some of those videos are just clickbait and get you enticed in, and we use intriguing titles like "Did we survive a night in a tiny house?" And it's like, well, we did if we put up a video about it.
Right.
But you've got to. That's the other part of the algorithm with YouTube is using words that trigger people watching, and I try not to do it too much, but I try not to be an outright liar.
Dorothy says those people love Elvis and they went to Dollywood. They're good people. Yeah, we'll definitely check them out. I got it wrote right here. J&B in the Hills. That's awesome.
Oh, it looked like somebody just became a member,
Oh, nice.
I believe. Well, thank you for that. Well, I think we're going to close it out. Let's see.
Don't know what that is.
I don't know either. So, guy is called Little House Off Grid. Yeah, we like a lot of those, like the what was that other ones we watched? The
What do you mean?
Crockers. They do the off grid stuff. We like them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
We do it all if we could. We literally would
Good night. Good night. Good
live
night.
in a tiny house and go in a van and go in an RV. And we do it all.
Ah, okay. There's two.
Yeah, good night. Good night, Joe. Good night, whoever else already went to bed.
Well,
It's been real fun. Yeah, well, it has. Thank you, B. Jones. We've enjoyed all of you guys. We've been so blessed that we've had some time to spend with our loyal viewers.
Yep, and thank you for becoming a member there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much. Welcome to level 1.
Mm-hmm.
We are new to all this member stuff ourselves. We set it up because YouTube's like, you need to do this, and we try to set everything as inexpensive as possible for people because we weren't trying to make a killing. We just wanted to do what YouTube wanted us to do. You become a member by clicking go into our channel and becoming a member, and it's like 99 cents. There's 4 levels. In the first level, the cheapest I could set it was 99 cents a month. So it just basically is 99 cents a month. And there's a way somewhere on there to become a member. Let me see if it's on my. See, it's so new to us, I don't even know much about it. So let's see. Ding, 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 ding,
Dorothy
ding.
says she knows of all the Virginia places that we mentioned. She used to live in Great Falls, Virginia.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with there. Gotta hit the hay. God bless you all and good night. God bless you too and have a good night, guys. Everybody that's going, have a good night. B. Jones.
Yeah, there's some way somehow to become a member, and you may have to, because every time I log on to YouTube, I'm on my own page, so I can't really become a member of my own page. But I think it's just on our main page, and there'll be a link there if you're interested in that kind of stuff. Just feel free to. And as we get more members, we'll do more exclusive members only stuff
Definitely.
behind the scenes and stuff like that. And geez, we've been on here for 3 hours.
We have, haven't we?
There you go. But we appreciate it, and we thank y'all so much for putting up with us. And I'm thinking about.
Tammy said, I'll have my daughter show me. Maybe I can't find it myself.
Alrighty. Yeah, join. There's a join button somewhere down at the bottom where you enter the chat. I know they're like when you to the right of where you click in your chat, there's like a support button, and I think you might be able to click in there and do it that way. But I'll look it up and I'll send you an email back about it. If you don't forget to email us. Oh yeah, don't anybody that won a prize, don't forget email your address to us.
Definitely.
And any specific
Dorothy says it's by the bell, left of the bell icon.
left of the bell.
Thank you, Dorothy.
Yep,
That's
thank
helpful.
Teaching me stuff now.
Yeah. Maybe you need a YouTube channel if you don't already have one.
Yeah.
On
teach
how to
everybody
use
how to use
technology,
YouTube.
Dorothy. We all need that.
YouTube is just crazy. There's so much that you can do. And I hear so many people complain about YouTube and all this stuff, but if you're putting out a good content, clean channel, and you're not out here trying to, change, too much in the world, just
Right.
it's a good format, and it's
I'll just say, just keep the politics out of it.
yeah, no politics and very little religion. If you don't, you can, but you don't want to make half your audience if they're, different religion or no religion. You don't want to. It just depends on what you want to do.
Right.
So, looking for the growth opportunities is where you want to be if you're trying to make content, and we're trying to do that.
And him and I'm really versatile. We are very versatile as far as politics is concerned, just because him and I have been on both sides.
Oh, nice. Telecom.
Both sides of the political spectrum.
Yeah, Rumble. We've tried. I've put a video or two on Rumble. It's just doesn't. It's not that it's bad. I think Rumble has its place. It's just that it's more difficult to figure out the whole, because I've spent so much time on YouTube and I've just used to YouTube, and I don't really get big into wanting to learn something different. And it's kind of like TikTok, because TikTok is a platform that people use.
Mm-hmm.
But I know a lot of people that will put up shorts on YouTube and put up TikToks because they're basically the same thing. But YouTube gets kind of funny. Shorts are easier to do. I mean, TikToks are easier to do, and shorts are harder. But people will put up their TikToks, and then they'll just put them on a short on YouTube. But YouTube hates when you put a TikTok on YouTube. They just hate it, and you'll never get anywhere. So you've got to learn both platforms if you want to do that kind of.
Trooper says people just don't watch Rumble.
Yeah.
The only time I watch Rumble is when I wanted to look at the Republican debate. They put it on there, but they wouldn't put it anywhere else. So
yeah.
I want to look at all the debates, but you just can't.
Yeah.
You can't always find them. So.
Yeah, Rumble. I find that Rumble, the only audience Rumble gets is people that are maybe edgy or political content, that they don't want it to be snuffed or censored or downplayed by YouTube. They think they can put it on Rumble and have it grow. So
Rebels.
Pretty much, yeah. But and the people that leave YouTube, that's about where it's at. So people YouTube gets funny sometimes about stuff, and people don't like it. So, and they want to thumb their nose at the big YouTube corporation, but
very true, yeah.
And that's the way people are. So
definitely,
we are at. Look at that. 3 hours. It is about bedtime.
I could actually go on all night.
I'm going to leave her here. If y'all want to keep talking, I'm going to bed.
Because I might have to use the restroom for too long.
I've already done that myself.
You did, didn't you?
Gotta get
I'm just kind of sandwiched in.
But yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, I appreciate the ideas. We will probably do a live at least once a month.
Yeah,
Just
sounds good.
Just to get people in here to hang
Even
out.
if we have to do a live, like from on location somewhere,
Yeah.
because we will be on location.
Really.
We've gotten to right now where we're, other than being sick for the past week, and we still have been on the road, but excuse me, as far as tape filming, we've been out on the road like at least 3 days a week,
3 days a week.
at least overnights and everything. So
yeah, maybe
Yeah.
2 times. We'll see how it goes. I mean, if we get rolling and people just jump in, we would. I mean,
we're on the
So that
road
would be-
so much that our cats, when we get home, they growl at us. They don't even recognize who we are.
them cats about knocked me down when I walked in the house today. They're like, "Hey, where you been?" I've been. It's been 2 sleeps and I ain't seen you. And they're like, "I don't want to know what's going on." So
Right.
they cats take at least 14 days before they start forgetting who you are.
And I also have to look in my fish tank and make sure my fish aren't floating. So
Make a trip to.
I do give them like a 3-day feeder or whatever, but I don't know if those things work really. So.
Nice. Daughter tried to steal her storage.
Oh wow, that's cool. So they must be pretty good then. I mean, the ratings were pretty neat.
I was thinking about making some coffee because that's one thing we ain't figured out in the.
Let me use a restroom. Otherwise, I'm going to be changing my pants. That would not be a good thing. Excuse me.
That's the one thing we.
Can you twist a little, dear? I mean, we're sandwiched in here.
Yeah, we're squished up. I was thinking about making some coffee because we were in the camper for 2 days, and that's one thing I haven't figured out as a coffee maker. They make those little tiny, like 1 or 2 cup coffee makers, and I need to do that and it aggravated me because I had just gone to Publix and bought coffee. They had my favorite coffee on sale. Buy one and get one free. And I just bought 2 bags of my favorite coffee. Got home, made one cup, and then the next morning we get up and on the road. And I didn't have a coffee maker. I'm like, oh man. So now it's too late now for me to make coffee, but I can drink coffee and then go right to sleep. It doesn't affect me. I process caffeine too quickly, so I can drink a cup right now and then be in bed in 20 minutes and go right to sleep. But yeah, the camper's cool. We like it so far. We're ironing some bugs out, but I think next time or two we camp, we'll probably use the dinette as a bed too, because we've been using. It's called a full plus, which is in between a full and a queen, and it's sandwiched in the side. So anybody that's up against the one wall, if you got to get up and go to the restroom, you got to crawl over the other person, and you end up having to wake somebody up. So we're thinking about starting one of us sleep in the dinette area, one of us sleep on the bed because we just get tired of being woken up. But oh yeah, 4 a.m. is early morning.
Dorothy says she loves her chocolate coffee and iced mocha latte coffee.
Yeah, see,
Trooper says he's going all night on coffee.
Yeah,
I couldn't do that, boy. If I had a coffee at 8 o'clock in the evening, I'll be up till 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, is there anything you need to do? How about this? Let me just start a project. Yeah, in the middle of the night. And I've done that before, haven't I, dear?
Wake me up.
Yeah.
I was never a coffee drinker before the last couple of years, and I would drink a cup once in a great while, but I grew up in a home where my mother and my father and my younger brother, not younger than me, but my youngest closest brother, they all lived there, and they my dad didn't smoke, but my mother and brother did, and they smoked and they drank coffee, and I just didn't like either one of those smells. But then as I got older in the last few years with my kids growing up and them getting into coffee and everything, I just like, okay, let me try this. And then I sort of got into coffee and
Yeah, it's kind of similar to sushi too. Him and I wasn't fans of sushi at all, but then we have a Chinese friend that started making us sushi and showing us actually you're not supposed to just eat the sushi raw. You're supposed to dip it in the soy sauce and wasabi combination and then eat it. And then we're like, oh, is that what you do? You don't just taste raw fish taste?
Yeah,
No, that's not how you're supposed to do it. Okay. So us old timers learned a few things, didn't we, dear?
yeah.
About coffee and about sushi.
Yeah, caffeine will put a hurting on your heart. It'll give you the palpitations sometimes, but
But we do love some chocolate though. Wow.
oh yeah, I don't mind chocolate. I like going to like the Circle K. They have the this thing over there dispenser where you can put 4 or 5 different things in, or you can just make like coffee or cappuccino, whatever. But they got a dispenser over there with Hershey's chocolate, and I'll make me a coffee, and then I'll just put that Hershey's chocolate and a little bit of creamer in there, and it's really good.
So Tammy Jo says it's funny about the sushi. A couple months ago, a friend taught her how to eat it properly, and it was pretty good too.
Yeah, yeah, it's okay. I mean, there's some sushi I don't still don't like, but some of it is.
And then she also talked about chemotherapy and how she doesn't drink as much coffee after
Yeah,
chemo.
because it messes with
The heart thing, yeah, I get that too. It's weird. Not just with that, but with some other things as well. But I think it's a vitamin deficiency that causes your heart to like
yeah,
palpate after. It feels like it's beating out of your chest almost, and that's just a vitamin deficiency, is what I hear anyway. Dr. Berg is a good one for that.
what would it
If,
be
if,
like a B1 vitamin?
it may be.
B1, B12,
I can't
sodium
remember
or
though.
something?
I do have the can't remember. Like if you have any advice for me, I have early onset of dementia, I guess, from having chemotherapy. So if y'all have any advice as far as vitamins to take for that or something, I would love to know about that because that's something I struggle with. But yeah, but yeah, Dr. Berg, look up Dr. Berg if y'all
Yeah, let
ever
me type him in.
need any advice on vitamins and supplements. BERG, Dr. BERG. You can type in Dr. Berg and anything, arthritis. He has a whatever you're deficient in, vitamin wise. He's got something on that, et cetera, et cetera. Even MS. Cancer. You name it. And people say, oh, but it's just a chiro or a doctor of chiropractor or whatever. But a lot of chiropractors also specialize in natural homeopathic medicine. And he has like 2 or 3 PhDs. So I really believe in this guy's advice. He's really changed our life as far as natural things you can take for things. Other than that, maybe.
Yeah.
I need to look or listen to more about the intermittent fasting part of his
Yeah.
advice.
Need to look up how to
Ooh.
not cough.
Right,
How to take cough syrup.
right. So whatever it is, I'm taking. I need to tweak it. I don't know.
Yeah, you can do it.
You know.
That's the problem. We'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
Take some. No, I don't know. I mean, the caffeine doesn't bother me. It just. I read somewhere that there's genetic predisposition to process caffeine faster than most people. It's a genetic mutation, and if you drink caffeine and it just doesn't affect you, or it only affects you for a very short period of time, then you probably have that mutation.
Did you see that Kathy says she's never had caffeine, or not caffeine, but coffee in her whole life?
Wow.
That's amazing.
Never had coffee in my life. Wow.
I hated it when I was a kid. Like, I took a little drink of my uncle's coffee and I was like, why do you drink this stuff? It's gross, you know?
Yeah, it's one thing to have coffee black. You got to have a kind of a taste for that. But once you start putting some sweeteners and creamer in there, it just becomes like, it's almost like cocoa anyway.
Right.
It becomes, sweet and flavorful, and with all the different creamers and other stuff you can put in it, different shots of syrups and stuff, it's just changed a lot from what it used to be. I mean, my dad used to have Sanka crystals. He put in hot water to stir up. I mean, instant coffee and all that stuff. Yeah, the energy drinks are tough too, because they're usually so loaded with caffeine. They're worse than coffee.
And sugar, if it's not the zero sugar ones. Huh?
There's a couple energy drinks we will drink, but we just don't drink them as a regular thing.
Well, they're expensive too.
Yeah, they're expensive. Coffee is a lot cheaper, and it does basically the same thing. And actually, there's some studies about coffee that helps you in other ways with different things besides just giving a caffeine jolt. But it's what it is. So, but anyway, I see our numbers are trailing off.
Trooper says drinking black coffee bothers my stomach. I just need a touch of cream and I'm good.
Yeah, cream or.
Me too. Except for it's not a touch with me. It's like 50% for me.
Oh my gosh! Last story I got.
And I love real milk in my coffee, not half and half or whatever. I like real milk in my coffee. But I don't even like coffee either. I mean, I like it, but I don't like it. I have a love-hate relationship with it. So
I got one story I would tell, and then I'm done. We went to McDonald's in Georgia, and we yeah.
That sounds like me, Tammy Jo. Yeah,
that's her. This is a story I'm telling, because we went into McDonald's. I had to go right to the restroom, so I go to the restroom, and we're getting ready to set up and do our editing of our video, and Tammy didn't want to act like we were just going to sit there and use their plug-in and Wi-Fi. She wanted to actually order something, so she said she gets the lady over here to order coffee, and I didn't know it, but she had ordered us both coffees. So I come back out, and the lady.
There's no place when you're ordering on your online app for McDonald's. There's no place to separate the two coffees.
Yeah.
So if you want like 4 creamers on this coffee and 8 creamers on this one, you can't tell it to do that. Yeah. You just tell it in total. You want 2 coffees. Well, how many creamers do you want for all those 2 coffees?
So anyway, the lady comes out with
whatever.
The lady comes out with these 2 cups of coffee and set them down. And I take a sip, and it's ice cold, and it tastes like coffee creamer. It was no coffee taste at all. It's like the lady had just poured half and half in a cup, and I was drinking half and half.
Right.
And I'm like, what? And the lady's like, well, I don't know how it got cold. You want me to warm it up for you? So she went and put it back into the microwave, and it was still. And she had ordered 20 creamers. 20 creamers. It was nothing. It was like this much coffee.
Because I thought I was going to get
That much
the individual, creamer cup.
She thought they were going to bring the cups out, but the
like,
lady mixed them for her.
And I don't think it was 20. I think it was more like 12 or 14.
It was horrendous. And it was like, oh. So I was just like, yeah, I give up. Just bring me black coffee. You know, it was awful. It was, oh, jeez. But yeah, it was cold, ice cold, because they keep the creamer in the refrigerator.
Finally, she just gets so mad.
She was back here in the back saying that. She was back there. We could hear her all the way out front. She's like, I am so tired of making this coffee for these people. I'm so tired. She's like a 90-year-old Georgia lady, and she's just with that southern accent.
I think she's 90. I think she was just a chain smoker, that's all.
She was kind of scraggly looking, but she was mad. She was F-bombing this and F-bombing that.
But finally she came out with a big tray with a big pile of creamers. I mean, literally, you could stick them in one of those, a solid box of creamer. That's how much you got. And like a pile of sugars or Splendas or whatever, and set it down. There, make your own.
Yeah.
Like, okay, thank you. That's perfect. That's what I thought it was going to be to begin with.
Yeah, that's what she did. She just brought it out and said, y'all just figure it out.
Anyway.
So, yeah, I was about, it was awful. But no, I do like a little bit of sweet in mine. I don't like it. I mean, I'll either drink coffee black, which I'm perfectly fine with, or if I'm in the mood for creamer, I will add the sugar and the syrups, and it becomes the whole thing. I will make a coffee and be drinking it almost finished with it before she's even done making her coffee.
And then I will finish my coffee and I will be like, I need something to chase that. I need to get the coffee taste out of my mouth. It's too sweet.
Yeah.
It's like, well, why did I drink it in the first place?
Yeah,
well,
she drank coffee last night. She got a little coffee
know.
and she's like, why did I do that? Because now I got the sweet taste in my mouth and now I need something else. So then she has to get a soda or something.
Yeah, I do the same thing if I eat a cookie or something. It's too sweet, and now all of a sudden I need to have some chips or something to balance out the sweet and get rid of the sweetness in my mouth.
And I don't know if this is true for everybody.
It makes me sick at my stomach if I have sweet in my stomach.
If this is a male or female thing or whatever, but we'll go to a place to eat, like even McDonald's.
That's very true, Tammy. Very true.
We'll go to McDonald's and order our food, and by the time she has prepped her food that they have made for her, like take the pickles off, add some salt, take a bite, add a little more pepper. Oh, that's too much ketchup. Get a napkin, wipe a little bit of ketchup off. I'm finished eating, and she's over there still making her food. And I was just like, what? And then she gets mad because I ate more French fries than her. Because she still hasn't even finished making her sandwich that they just made for her. And I'm finished eating. So, what? Yeah.
Yeah, wiping off the ketchup.
So.
Yeah, when they accidentally put it on there, right?
Yeah, or and it's just, and it doesn't matter where it's at. It's like anywhere. It could be the Mexican restaurant or whatever. It's just like, she's got to make food. Cooking, or she's got to refix what they've already made.
I grew up with a really good cook as a mom. She was my adopted mom, and she was in her 60s when I was born. And she was extremely Southern. She's from Virginia, but her ways, as far as her cooking skills, is extremely Southern. So I base everything on the good flavor. It has to have really good flavor. So if it's missing salt, I'm going to tell you, it's missing some salt, For real. And I don't even like real salt. If I could get away with it, I would put sea salt on everything because it's much more healthy for your digestion.
But I'd be flat done eating, and she'll just be in her first bite or two. And same way with coffee. I have my coffee already made and drank by the time we even walk up to the counter to pay for it, because she's over
Not
there.
always. That's not true. If it's a good iced coffee that somebody gives me, I can down it in about I can down it in about like 30 seconds, and then he's sitting over there. So it really depends on the situation. It really does.
Yeah. Yeah, if they, well, okay, I ain't gonna get into it. So I'm just saying, it just takes forever sometimes. And then she gets mad, like, "Well, you
I was sent to a neurologist over headaches. I was put on a medication with caffeine, but since I started drinking a coffee, I hardly ever have a headache. That's interesting, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah."
I mean, you can get caffeine withdrawal that can cause the headaches. I've had that before when I don't drink any soda or anything like that. And
the caffeine relaxes. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it constricts some blood vessels in your body, but others it opens up. It opens up the ones in your brain. That's why you get clarity thinking when you have caffeine, is because it's unconstricted your blood vessels up here, but it's constricted, and that's why people who drink too much caffeine will get elevated blood pressure. But in your brain, it has a little bit to do with relieving the headaches.
but honestly, it's more, and people don't think of this, but it's more about dehydration than anything. Headaches are.
Yeah.
Other than sinus
and
headaches,
magnesium,
sinus
and
headaches.
magnesium,
But yeah, magnesium is a
dehydration. It's an electrolyte.
electrolyte. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's an electrolyte imbalance that causes headaches, mainly migraines.
Yeah.
And you know what else is good for that? If you have headaches or migraines, or even if you are working out at the gym and you get some major muscle cramps, just down some mustard, some just plain old, mustard like on a hot dog. Just down you some mustard and it'll take it right away.
Yeah. Usually, in most cases.
We learned that from this guy at our gym in Virginia that was like an incredible hawk. He literally would be over there pumping iron, and then no, I did this.
Oh, okay. Okay, what's that look like on camera?
Okay. Okay, so he's pumping iron, and he'd run over to the snack bar. Tammy, he'd run over to the snack bar and just take mustard packets, rip them open, and just squirt them down his throat all the time. And we're like, this is so weird. What's wrong with this guy? And we just kept watching him for days do this. And we finally got enough courage to ask him, excuse me, sir, but why do you do this? And he said, because it's electrolytes. And when I'm training hard or whatever and having muscle cramps and things, I'll go and down a few packets of these, and I can go back over there and start right over again and go hard again on my routine, and he has no more muscle cramps or no more aches or pains the next day being sore from working out too hard. So that's kind of interesting. Not only is it good for that, but also good for headaches.
Yeah, I just hate having leg cramps. They are awful.
What is he saying? The medicine was I can't say that. I don't know how to say that. It's basically Tylenol, caffeine, and something else.
Yeah, I was gonna say Excedrin. Yeah, that's what I said.
Caffeine for headaches, but coffee actually stopped me from taking medications. Yeah, if you can help it. do what you got to do not to be on prescription medications, for sure. I would say that that's the best thing.
Yeah, whenever you can.
Definitely. That's why we listen to Dr. Berg. He's pretty amazing at it. If you listen to his advice, I'll say, because this one over here sometimes he does, but then sometimes he doesn't. Um, and I do the same thing.
Well, it depends.
Because I don't do intermittent fasting very well. I get hangry if I don't eat. I literally do.
Yeah.
I get hangry.
Yeah, she gets hangry. She gets very hangry. We were getting up this morning, getting the Mamper ready. We're getting the Mamper ready, and she's like, I'm hungry. We gotta hurry up. So we were putting everything up, getting ready to load. Take the camper down. We gotta fold the A-frame, lock everything up, drain the water, do all this stuff, hook it up to the truck, and get ready to go. So she's real hungry, and I'm starting to get hungry. And then she's like, "We gotta go. We gotta go. I'm hungry. I'm hungry." Well, it's 20 miles before we get to the nearest restaurant. So we're driving, and we get out there off of the island, off of Dolphin Island, onto the bridge, and then all of a sudden we have to pull over, and we spend an hour chasing the kitty cats and feeding them and building a shelter for them. Meanwhile, we're still hungry.
It's like squirrel.
And then
cat.
Then she gets in the truck and she's hangry and she's mad and I can't say nothing right. So it's like, okay, what kind of mood you in today? Because she was just ready to kill someone today. I was like, you need to get to a McDonald's.
I swear I was a lion in another life. I really was.
Yeah, it was 10:32 before we got to McDonald's. And we got up at 6:30 this morning. So I tell you how distracted from waking up to getting to breakfast. And then it ended up having to be lunch because it crossed the 10:30 mark.
Look, all I ask for is 3 meals a day. I don't need to have snacks. Just give me 3 meals a day. That's all I need. That's all I need.
Yeah, magnesium. A lot of people don't know this, but your electrolytes are EMs. I call them EMs. Anything that ends in I, EM, like
selenium,
magnesium, chromium, sodium, all of those. I can't even remember them all because I'm getting tired. But the EMs, you got to keep those balanced in your body for cramps and brain function and all that stuff, and headaches and all those things. But the other thing is you got to be very careful. Like if you have any kidney problems, you do not want to be taking additional magnesium. And you got to be careful with a couple of those others too, because it will destroy your kidneys if you already have kidney problems. So
maybe if you overdo it.
Yeah, if you get more than what's really recommended. Mm-hmm. So you just gotta be careful with those. So
not only that, if you really want to know about electrolytes, you should start reading the labels on your electrolyte drinks, and you'll find out that things like Gatorade, Powerade, all these, they barely have any electrolytes in them at all.
Yeah, they're not really anything.
They have so little. Okay, your bottle that's this big might have a 1/10 of an ounce of electrolytes in it, which is really bizarre.
What is neuropathy? Is that what you lose when you get to
like the feeling and the sensation?
Yeah.
I've had that where my hands fall asleep at nighttime and things like that.
I don't know what you do for that.
You contact Dr. Berg and you put in neuropathy and in the hands and feet, and he will He will tell you. And the severe, I mean, the restless legs, he's got one for that too.
Yeah, I used to have a
It's
problem.
great.
I used to have a problem with my fingers at nighttime.
It is chemo related for sure.
My fingers
Chemo will mess you up.
would get so like asleep that it was pain, like horrible pain.
Yeah.
But that had to do with neck alignment and when the way you sleep.
And arthritis will do it too.
Because the doctor showed me if it's these, it's usually either these. I can't do this on. There we go. These three fingers, which it'll usually be these three or these two. These three or these two. And if it's these two, it's usually related to a nerve. And if it's these three, it's usually related to something in your wrist, like carpal tunnel. But if it's the nerve, it's related to your neck alignment, the way you sleep. So I changed the way I sleep, and I was all better.
I can relate to Trooper here. He says he thinks spending so much time in his cruiser all day for years and years has caused my leg pain and cramps. He says.
Yeah, I can imagine. I have that problem when I sit in the car too long.
Right.
And just get out, that first minute of getting out, having to walk.
Well, I've been a professional driver for years, so I get a lot of those kind of aches and pains from just sitting in the driver's seat and all that goes along with it.
I'm thinking about dyeing my beard.
What on earth?
That
was random, wasn't it, guys?
It's looking like that. You know how them puppy dogs?
She said what color? Green.
Green, like the Grinch. No, I was thinking about just going all white with it because I'm looking like one of those puppy dogs. That you know how they're like them. What do you call them dogs? Them
terriers.
Any kind of dog like that. Them little ones that are all white.
Like a schnauzer.
Like schnauzer or whatever.
Yeah.
But where they eat their food all the time, it gets discolored around here.
Right.
I look like I've been eating too much dog food, and the rest of them is all white, but right around.
Oh, you probably have.
Thank you. Yeah, Shih Tzu.
Yeah. There's
Shih Tzu.
Yeah. Yeah, theirs turns yellow around.
Yeah, from eating food too much and gets all dirty looking.
Right. We had a Lhasa Asa at one time. I don't know how to say it.
That's what she used to do. She used to sing.
Oh yeah, she was an opera singer. She loved watching opera on TV. But they also had the problem with tear stains and things like that.
Yeah.
Get some Grecian formula.
There you go. Yeah, I had to do so.
Well, they don't have any hair to put some Dapper Dan on, huh?
No.
Dapper Dan. Oh, goodness.
Oh, no.
What was that movie, Dapper Dan? That was the
Brother Where Art.
Oh, Brother Where Art Thou. That was a good movie. Yeah.
Well, I'm signing off. I'm going to bed. Or I can just leave here and y'all can talk.
Well, guys, it's been wonderful.
It's been a good night. We got everybody send us email. And everybody else that's on here, if something happens and somebody doesn't claim one of their prizes, we will be in contact with you as a follow-up winner.
Yes.
We've given everybody 24 hours to send their emails to us. And after that, if they haven't, then the prize will go to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So you may end up winning a consolation prize. So we'll see how it goes.
Definitely. Well, thank you guys for sticking it out with us.
Oh,
I appreciate it.
And that's a world's record for a
and
3.5 hours.
and we don't mind staying up like, because we understand people are from all different time zones, so
I
It kind
almost
of-
fell asleep on the desk.
you know, it is what it is, and we enjoyed talking to you guys. We really did. We enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's I'm sorry about the yawning and stuff. It's just that when we got sick, we got sick as early as I got sick on Sunday, and Monday was really bad, and then she started getting sick on Tuesday, and Sunday and Monday I was just like a zombie. I was just so tired, and then we hit the road, and Friday. And I was feeling better, but I just had some sleep to catch up, and it's just sleeping in that camper is it's comfy and I sleep good. It's just there's a lot of work associated with a camper. Like by the time we packed up and got on the road this morning, I was like, okay, I'm tired. It's time to go to bed because
Mhm.
it's I've said it before, but it's like you got all this work to do just so you can camp and relax. And then after you're done camping and relaxing, you have to work some more to uncamp. So it's really bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I was sorry you missed the first part, Trooper, but I think there'll be a replay if I hit the buttons right if you wanted to see what all we talked about. But you don't have to. But we appreciate you being here anyways. And we thank y'all all for joining us. And we will do this at least once a month
Mhm.
because it's been fun. We just have
Yeah,
to find
y'all
the right
take
time.
care, and I'm sure that we'll have another giveaway coming up in a few weeks if we get some more subscribers up. We'll see what kind of videos we can put up, even if it's
Camping is hard work and
a
relax.
little bit of everything, mobile homes and tiny homes, etc. So
Yeah, shed conversion. I want to go do that one and get that one done before the first of the year, maybe, and hit a couple more mobile homes,
mhm.
and then we'll try to get our little lanes or categories figured out too. So,
Definitely.
but anyways, all right, that's been a wonderful night. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah,
Thank
y'all
so
have a good
much.
night. Take care. Merry Christmas to you guys too, if you believe in Christmas, or
Yeah.
Happy Hanukkah, or Happy Kwanzaa, or Happy Life.
Happy
Whatever
New Year.
you
Yeah,
believe.
all that stuff. Y'all have a good one. Merry Christmas if we don't talk to you sooner, but take it easy.
All right. Take care, guys.
We'll talk to you.
Have a good night.